Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, October 26th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, Cash App $, ORIONNWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got number 20 Illinois versus number 1 Oregon, a Big Ten duel. We're going to get kickoff started here in roughly 3 minutes. I can't wait to see what happens here this afternoon. Cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and get settled in for Illinois and Oregon. Let's get it, baby. Oh, baby. And you know what it is. Illinois on the left and Oregon's Dylan Gabriel on the right. Let's get it, baby. Go Ducks. Let's go. And I don't know if we're going to be able to go undefeated, the whole season. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep this number 1, ranking throughout the whole year until we end up getting into the college football playoff. But the one game that we definitely had circled on the calendar was Ohio State, and we felt that if we could get past them, it would be a very good probability of being able to be undefeated or maybe only having one loss up to that point. But once you go undefeated, and if you end up making the college football playoff, that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to win the Natty just because you've been number 1 for 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row. Once it goes to the college football playoff, those rankings kind of go out the window. And if we end up matching up against Georgia or Texas or maybe even a team like Miami, anything could happen. But it definitely feels a little bit different this year, with Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks. Could this be the year that we finally win the Natty and we finally go all the way? Before we think of those type of dreams, we got to think about taking care of the Illinois Fighting Illini. And they're 6-1. So they only got one loss. They actually have, pretty solid players. Luke Altmaier there at quarterback has got actually, just as good of a stat line as Dylan Gabriel. And we'll have to see on how we be able to, strategize. And Dan Lanning definitely has a game plan. But Altmaier, the Illinois quarterback, 15 touchdowns, only 1 pick, right? Dylan Gabriel, 15 touchdowns, 4 picks. And we know a lot of the picks have been in the red zone. So as long as Dylan Gabriel can clean that up, we should be fine. And again, we have a better running back, obviously, with Jordan James. And I feel with Pat Bryant and Tez Johnson, they're equally great. So, again, we're going to have to keep an eye on Pat Bryant, the wide receiver for Illinois. Luke Altmaier, the quarterback, looks pretty solid. Fegan, the running back there, is not as good as Jordan James. But, again, if the defense is lacking or slacking in any way, that individual could make us pay. Based on the matchup predictor, they have Oregon winning by 91%. That might be the case, but again, we got to get out there and get the job done. Woke up a little bit late today, but I got a long walk in with Paisley, and I'm definitely excited and ready to go for this game. Matt in the building, what's good? Let's go, baby. Let's go. You know what time it is. Time to bust out the Vapor Carbons. Limited edition. Let's go. 2010 Natty. I'm ready. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. And obviously, we'll be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go, baby. And it's a little bit early, for a college football matchup, but I guess it could be, it could be a 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. So at least I got another chance to, kind of get settled in, make the thumb. I didn't get a chance to eat breakfast yet, but, again, I can eat a late lunch or something after the game is over. But hopefully Oregon comes to play. The weather here, and I'm about, an hour and a half away from Eugene. Here it's raining, but there it looks like the weather is decently clear, and they always say it never rains at Autzen, but We'll see if there ends up any storms that kind of pass through. But at least here where I'm at, it's kind of drizzling a little bit of sprinkling. But, based on all the footage that I've seen at the game, looks like the weather is actually pretty good there in Eugene. And, again, I'm about an hour and a half away. So, hour and a half away based off weather, it can be completely different. It could be rainy here and it completely, sunny and great over there in Eugene. So definitely waiting to see this opportunity here for the Ducks. Number 1, Oregon Ducks versus number 20, the Illinois Fighting Illini. Let's go, baby. Now, defense has definitely got to force the turnovers today, and really, it's going to be the battle up front, with the O-line and the D-line. Whatever O-line and D-line obviously controls, the game and the clock. Got to have good clock management, and again, it just feels like it's a different year this year for Oregon. I feel like this is the best defense that we've ever had in the Oregon program. Offense, not really as high as what we're used to, but again, if that's the trade-off that we have to have, where we have like one of the best defenses in the country, with Georgia and Texas, but the offense maybe isn't as good in the like Marcus Mariota era or the Bo Nix era, like the Joey Harrington era. But at the end of the day, if we end up winning it all and win the Natty, I don't think anyone's going to care, including myself. So, again, defense wins games. Defense wins championships. I used to watch the Ducks, in the 80s when we would win like one game a year. And I always dreamed of, being good, and being relevant and, having people actually respect what the Oregon Ducks bring to college football. And we've definitely come a long, long way. Joey Harrington was really the one that made me love Oregon football, even though I watched it for many, many years prior to that, but I didn't really have a connection to any of the players besides, up to that point with Joey Harrington. And then since then, in the late 90s and the early 2000s, the last 25 years have been great. And I can't wait to be able to see what comes here today. Let's go. Now, good for Indiana. Obviously for Washington and some of the other teams that, I've had a little rough outing, with that. One team is ranked 13th, and, Indiana should have won. There shouldn't have been any scenario that Washington had won that game, but, again, upsets do happen. Nice win for Odin Sons, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, 51-14 over Navy. All those fumbles, very uncharacteristic. And right there, as you see the Big Ten standings, Indiana, Oregon, Penn State, Illinois, Wisconsin, Ohio State, Iowa, Michigan, Michigan State. That's kind of sexy. To have Oregon in there, with all those Big Ten teams. And obviously, we're doing our best to be able to be at the top. And again, for USC and Washington, as well as UCLA, it's going to be a little rough. Again, those programs typically have to build for a few years. And if you don't have the right coach or the right recruiting, sometimes even though USC has been a big name normally, it shows you it takes time. And again, Oregon has been able to steal, a lot of those recruits and a lot of those people that maybe were thinking of going to USC, maybe flipped, or UW or UCLA. So it's definitely going to be more competitive. And it's going to take a lot more for those other three teams to catch up to Oregon, based off our coach, our recruiting, NIL, and the players that we're getting year in and year out. But hopefully one day that they'll be able to get closer to the top instead of at the middle or towards the bottom of the Big Ten. But one thing is for sure, Oregon belongs. And again, with Ohio State and all the rest, we're going to try to make the Big Ten proud. And again, for all of the, individuals that are Big Ten fans that didn't really want to see Oregon or Washington or USC or UCLA join, I get it. We didn't really want to join either. We wanted to stay in our own conference. But again, this gives you guys the best chance, right, with Oregon, Ohio State, and possibly a few other teams in the future to be the number one conference in college football. And that's one thing that, the Big Ten has always normally been number two to the SEC. So again, you get a little bit more firepower with Oregon joining, and that should give us a better chance to be able to hold it down for the Big Ten. And yes, we ended up winning the championship, obviously, with Michigan beating, Washington last year. And we know how good Ohio State typically is every year, as far as consistency. But again, Georgia, Bama, and obviously now they have Texas and Oklahoma over there in the SEC as well. It's still going to be a little bit difficult, but it kind of feels like there's a little bit more wiggle room. And yeah, we know Texas is good. We know Georgia and Bama are good. But I feel as far as like an Oregon fan or an Ohio State fan or a Big Ten fan is concerned, nobody's afraid. I feel that, again, we know that it's tough. And if it ends up coming down to the Natty and it ends up being Oregon and Georgia, more than likely we would probably lose because their defense is better than ours and they probably have more NFL players on that side of the ball. It would make it very difficult, but it wouldn't be impossible to think that Oregon could find a way finally, to make the offense feel a little uncomfortable for Georgia, because we know Beck isn't the greatest. Gabriel is better, but it just feels like, the pecking order in the Big Ten, the pecking order in the SEC, and as far as the competition factor, I feel this is the most open college football has ever been in the history of college football in the last 25 years. And then adding on top of that the college football playoff. You never really know what's going to happen, week in and week out, but definitely excited about the matchup here tonight against the Illinois Fighting Illini. Let's go. I got a chance to watch a little bit of that, and Ohio State is going to struggle, from time to time, and even though Nebraska's not, rated, they got the Patrick Mahomes clone, and they're still going to be a dangerous team. Where if you take them for granted, Nebraska will end up upsetting a few teams throughout the year. But again, a win is a win, and 21-17, Ohio State beats Nebraska by 4. Yeah, no T. Ferg today with the injury. Yep, I agree. Sadiq and Herbert will have to step up. And again, we'll see what kind of game plan that we have today. And hopefully we are going to establish the run early and hopefully get a nice bootleg and play action going with Dylan Gabriel. And again, Altmaier, if we can get to him, that's really going to be the key. If we can make him feel uncomfortable, that will be the difference between it being a close game, and maybe Oregon squeaking it out, or possibly an Oregon blowout. So let's go, baby. It never rains in Autzen. Man, the weather is beautiful in Eugene. Sun is out, sun's out, guns out. And obviously we got the great uniforms there to represent, to battle cancer. I love it, baby. Let's go. First time we've been number 1 since 2012, baby. Flight and fight. I love the Oregon jerseys. And again, everyone loves to be able to either love or hate on, the jerseys that we have. But sometimes the jerseys have even a bigger meaning, to fight cancer and everything else. So I really am enjoying the extra details in the helmets and the socks and the jerseys. Let's go, baby. Brett Bielema, the old Wisconsin head coach. Ducks, go, go, go. Let's go, baby. Beautiful weather. Wish I was there. Still got to try to be able to make my way down there. Wow, 70 in Eugene. I think right now here where I'm at, it's only like 45 or 50. Let's see, what is it? Oh, it looks like it warmed up to 60, but it's overcast here. All right, Oregon leads the all-time series 2-1. Number 1 since 2012. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Ducks. And I'll be watching the World Series, obviously, later tonight, but we won't be doing a stream for that. I'll watch it with Paisley. Freddie Freeman, walk-off grand salami. Well, actually, not really necessarily a walk-off grand salami, but 2 outs, obviously. Nestor Cortez. Now we don't have to worry about Robbie Ray being the guy that ended up being the biggest stooge, giving up that big home run to Yordan Alvarez. Now, nasty Nestor Cortez is going to be that dude. So that feels good, but we'll see if the Yankees can respond here tonight. All right, here we go. Come on, Oregon. Let's go. Good return. Good return. Runs into his own man. Short return there. Judah in the building. What's good? Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. So we're just going to be doing this Duck stream. I'm going to spend the rest of the day with Paisley after. I'll watch World Series game number 2. Shout out to Freddie Freeman for doing the magic. You know, it's like Kirk Gibson all over again, me being like 6 years old, watching it with my dad on TV. So shout out to the Dodgers. And then we'll end up doing Niners, Cowboys Sunday night, and then Steelers and Giants on Monday night. Let's go, baby. First down and 10. Gabriel, little check down. Errant pass there to Tez Johnson, incomplete. Let's go, baby. Sadiq in there today, obviously, with the injuries that we have. Halfback toss. Go, baby. Ooh, spin move. Gets turned around. Short game. Third down. Third down and 7. Let's go, baby. Let's get this first down. Trips left. We got 5 wide. Shotgun set. Little screen pass. Lock downfield. Go, go, go. There we go. First down. Ducks. Move the chains. Good execution there by Oregon. Yeah, World Series last night was epic. And, definitely you feel like the Yankees were more deserving of winning that game. They played better overall. They ended up getting off to a good start. Then the Dodgers had to kind of punch back. Then the Yankees responded again with that Giancarlo homer. Gabriel, little check down. Come on, baby. Secure that ball. There we go. First down, Ducks, Jordan James. There we go. And then, there definitely was a little bit of back and forth. But, again, they needed a miracle to come back and win that game. But, again, with Shohei Ohtani getting that double late in the game and then stretching it to a triple, that's what really gave them a chance to win the game with his awareness on the bags. And then you had Freddie Freeman come up with one of the most incredible plays in MLB history. That's never been done before. They've never had a, grand salami in that kind of moment in the World Series ever. Now, we've seen Kirk Gibson, end up hitting a home run in Game 1, back when I was 6 years old in 1988 in the World Series in Game 1. But I feel like the Freddie Freeman homer was just as dramatic, if not more, because they were down by obviously 1, and they ended up hitting a grand salami. Never been done before. Shout out to Freddie Freeman. First down and 10 for the Ducks. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Gabriel. Here we go. Jordan James with a short game from Dylan Gabriel. And even with William, mentioning that they don't have anybody that's left-handed in the building. So obviously for their whole game plan, they're going to definitely be a little confused. And, you can definitely try to bring in someone that is a lefty. But unless they are a quarterback on the team for the Fighting Illini, running play action and bootleg and rolling, obviously to the left instead of rolling to the right is going to be different. And obviously the way the ball comes out of Gabriel's hand, just like we saw with Washington and Michael Penix Jr. last year, it's a lot harder to defend a left-handed quarterback than a righty. There's less lefties in college football. Go, baby. Nice little jet sweep end around. First down, Ducks. There we go. We like that, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. First down and 10. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Gabriel, little play action fake. Good protection up front. He's going deep. Got a man. But in between the zone and complete. Yeah, I would assume that's why they're doing that, and you never know. I mean, last night when we ended up doing the World Series game number 1, it almost ended up being a 4-hour stream. I figured it would be closer to what we see in the regular season, around 2 hours and 30 minutes to 3 hours, but it is the World Series. Hand off to Jordan James, dancing, romancing. and getting wrapped up by 2 Illini. Third down. 3rd down and 6 on the Illinois 31. I'm loud as hell in here, and Paisley Pup is just sitting in here trying to sleep and stay close to Dad. She needs to eat breakfast. She hasn't even had breakfast yet. I mean, it's already lunchtime. 3rd down and 6. 5 wide, trips right. Shotgun set. Gabriel looking for a man. He's got one. You got to throw it. Got plenty of time. Little dump down. Tez Johnson. Oh, hit him with the shimmy and the shake and the juke. Down the sideline. Touchdown, Oregon. Let's go. Wow. That's one of the best. That's one of the best yards after catch out of Tez Johnson in 2024. Oh. My goodness. They're going to take a look at a little review here, but he's inside the pylon, and that's 100% touchdown, just like Matt said. Let's go, Ducks. There we go. Extra point is up and good. 7-0 Oregon. That's a fantastic start to the game here in Eugene. And I don't think, we definitely respect anybody that's ranked in the top 25. They're 6-1. They're 20th, obviously in the nation. But again, playing in Eugene is completely different than playing anywhere else. And it's one of the best home field advantages in sports. And again, really the only chance I think Illinois had in this game to maybe make it a little bit closer is if we had a downpour in Eugene right now, or if it ended up being like bad weather. If it was bad weather, then the game would probably be a little bit closer, just based off the slippage and the mistakes that the quarterbacks would have. But not the case there in Eugene. 70 degrees, beautiful sunshine, and look at this route by Tez Johnson, and look at the catch, and then look what he does when he cuts back with the yak yards. Great route, plants his foot, right? Still is trying to get Gabriel to get his attention, goes in between the zone of 4 different players, hits him with the shimmy and the shake, jukes number 5 out of his cleats, down the sideline, into the pylon, touchdown, Oregon. Let's go. Odin's son, my boy. Hey, Fighting Irish kicked some fucking ass today. And again, we know Army and Navy traditionally aren't good, right? They usually only win a couple games a year. Normally, like Air Force is more competitive than Army or Navy in a traditional year. But this year, you had both of the Army and Navy played pretty good ball up to this point. But again, one thing, obviously that you notice with those military schools, they typically don't fumble a whole lot, regardless if they're going to run like a triple option or if they're more of a run heavy, kind of team. But today, I believe he had 4 fumbles against them, and that is something that's uncharacteristic, for them. But you got the dub, and you beat them in great fashion. And hopefully we get Notre Dame, in the college football playoff. You just got to keep continuing to win and win by big fashion like you did. Congratulations on that big fucking win for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Let's go. Go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Yeah, that was probably the longest I've seen Dylan Gabriel be able to go through his progressions. But again, with Illinois, they're not really as good, defensively compared to like Oregon, right? Really why Illinois is at 6-1 and 3-1 in the conference is because of quarterback play. If you look at Altmaier, he's got stats very similar to Dylan Gabriel. He only has 1 pick for the year. Gabriel's got 4, but they got around the same amount of touchdown passes, around that 15 to 16 range. So again, the defense is definitely going to have to step up to make him uncomfortable, but don't be surprised if Altmaier ends up throwing for a couple touchdowns today. But hopefully we can end up getting a tip, interception or a fumble or a strip sack or a punch out, and hopefully we can get it done. It's going to be a fun day today. Lots of college football, World Series game number 2. And then obviously tomorrow we're going to have a great NFL games. We'll do Cowboys and Niners tomorrow, Giants and Steelers on Monday night. But I obviously will be tuning into the World Series at the same time on Monday night, and we'll kind of cover both games at the same time. Let's go, baby. And I'm not going to leave Illinois out. I found this little Illinois Fighting Illini. Got like the state there of Illinois. It doesn't do a full rotation of a full 360 like some of the other logos, but pretty cool. So I was like, you know what? We got to definitely add that to the stream, and we'll see what happens when they end up having the ball. Still think this one might be one of the best ones that I have, just because it morphs from Oregon Ducks into the O. We don't have any other logo that does that besides the Oregon one. The way it should be, right? There we go. All right, let's see what the Illinois Fighting Illini, say that 10 times fast. Let's see what they have cooking here on their first opportunity on offense. Luke Altmaier, the junior from Ole Miss. He obviously was there in 2021 and 2022. Transferred to Illinois, obviously, last year. And if you look at his passing totals, touchdown to interception ratio, he's solid. And so, again, the defense is going to have to make him uncomfortable. And, again, make sure you're looking out for the wide receivers, especially Pat. Now, that's going to be the main, target that they're going to be looking at to see if he can get big first downs moving forward. 6 turnovers, 5 fumbles, and 1 pick. Altmaier. Dixon with the catch. Yes, you know it. You know it. 2nd down and 5. And obviously we'll have the logo on the top right who has the ball. Altmaier, pressure, get his ass, yeah! Oh, he's already down, though. It's hilarious. He tries to throw the ball off one knee. Not going to happen today, baby. This is going to be the first time that Altmaier has had a defense like this in his face all year. Yeah. Speaking of Sam Darnold, college football isn't rigged, but the NFL sure as hell seems like it is. Especially when it costs teams games like the Buccaneers and the Vikings with face mask calls that are very clear to see, not by just one ref, but like multiple, and they still be able to turn a blind eye and act like it never happened. 3rd down and 15. Oh, that might be a delay of game there. Good job by the Oregon fan base. Boo! Yeah, that definitely was a face mask, 100%. Let's go. Oregon's fans, some of the best in the country. And again, I've been a fan since the 80s. Where are you going with that? 3rd down and 15, you're going to run a little counter? What do you expect to get out of that? You got nothing. Great defense by Oregon. And again, I'm used to seeing LaMichael James and DeAnthony Thomas and, Marcus Mariota and this kind of explosive offensive players. And even though the offense isn't as good as traditional past Oregon teams, I will definitely take, one of the top 2 or top 3 rated defenses in the country to supplement that. And it's definitely made a huge difference in the way that we recruit and the way that we play football here in the Pacific Northwest. I just want that offense to kind of get closer to what the Oregon defense does on a weekly basis. Especially if we end up going to the college football playoff, we're going to need it. Especially when we play teams like, Georgia or Texas or Ohio State again. We're going to have to, play on an A level on both sides. Can't have an A defense and a C offense. That's not going to cut it. Not against those top tier teams. 8:46 left in the first quarter. 7-0 Oregon. Let's go. But it feels good, to be able to watch a team that, I've been a fan for, since I was very, very young. And, for them to only win 1 or 2 games a year, to kind of see the progression of, going from Rich Brooks to Mike Bellotti and then obviously going into our savior, Chip Kelly, and then moving forward with a few other coaches, obviously Helfrich, garbage, and Willie Taggart, garbage, and going through some of these other pieces. We did like Mario Cristobal, and now he's having success at the U. Congratulations to him. But we finally found the right piece in Dan Lanning, and hopefully we can continue this route so far here this Saturday afternoon. No, it's on CBS and Paramount Plus. So if you don't have cable, maybe you can watch it on Paramount Plus. And I guess you don't have Paramount Plus, there's always links that you can watch it on, and you can always go that route as well. So if you do want to watch the game with us, you can send me a message and I can send you a link if you want to watch it. So I got you. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a kind of a regular thing with these referees. I don't really think there's a lot of college football cheating, going on. I mean, yeah, we know people bet on it with the point spread in Vegas, but it's not as blatant, as it was in the, Monday night game, obviously with the Vikings and the Rams, where you can see three refs staring at Sam Darnold. And his head doesn't get pulled down, it gets pulled sideways. So you can definitely see it, when it goes sideways rather than down in a face mask, and they still didn't call it. It's just really unfortunate when you kind of feel, when you hear other people talk about, oh, the league is rigged, it's all about money and betting and the point spread and the mob and whatever, Vegas and trying to be able to win. And obviously them pushing all these different betting companies. And a couple years ago, I was like, that's kind of bullshit. But in the last 2 years, I don't know. I haven't seen more, missed calls or more no calls ever, and I've been watching, football and sports, for, almost 40 years. And it's kind of crazy to think that, that would be going on the NFL level. And I really wasn't a true believer of it a few years ago and up to that point. But the last 2 years makes me definitely reconsider that there's something going on with the referees and the cheating on the NFL side for sure. First down and 10, Dan Fouts. I see you, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Ducks. I'm about an hour and a half away from Eugene. Been a fan since the mid-'80s. And to win one game a year or 2 games a year to see where we've come to this point feels great. Run right up the gut. Push him forward, baby. There we go. Decent gain of 6 yards. Second down and 4 on the Oregon 48. Captain in the building. What's good? Yeah, I think the reality, Captain, is that you have to understand, with USC, Washington, and UCLA, I think for Washington fans and USC fans, they thought there wouldn't be that much of a drop-off by joining the Big Ten. Handoff up the gut, push forward, baby, short game. But again, if you don't have the same coach and you don't have the same recruiting and you had a lot of players go to the NFL, Caleb Williams and a few others on the USC side, Michael Penix Jr., Dalen McMillan, Roma Dunze, and many, many others, you're typically not going to be able to keep up, with some of the other teams that are in the Big Ten or other opponents. Unfortunate that you ended up having that loss. But again, sometimes I think, as fans, we feel our team is better than they really are. And then you just have to be able to kind of see how the season plays out. And then you'll really figure out, where your team sits. Now, should Washington, and USC have records as bad as they have right now? Probably not. There's definitely a few games that USC let slip through their fingers, as well as the Huskies, right, against Washington State and Rutgers. Those two you should have won. But again, that's just the way college football kind of works. And again, if you don't have the right coach or the right top-tier talent, NIL money, people transferring, wanting to come to your school. Again, it's not like Washington is a powerhouse year in and year out. It took them years to build that squad. And then you had to build it for 3-4 years, get the right players, and then you're going to have to rebuild and retool and start over. Throw to the sideline to Tez Johnson. There we go. And that's just the reality, of where it's at in college football. It's like, you're going to be able to get a different quarterback to transfer into your school. But really the biggest, I think, L for Washington was losing DeBoer, and he went to Alabama. If you would have been able to keep him, you would have been able to recruit better players, and you wouldn't be in the position that you are right now. And maybe you're a top 25 team. But since he left and all those other individuals ended up graduating or moving on to the NFL, you were kind of left with scraps. And, that's just what happens sometimes in college football. Now you're going to have to start over, recruit, and then try to build the team for about 4 or 5 years. And then hopefully you can get back to where you were last year or somewhere near that kind of talent level. But like I said, it's very difficult to maintain success on the college football level, especially when you end up losing your head coach. So. Let's go, Sean. What's good, baby? But I do feel for you. I know a lot of Husky fans and Duck fans don't like each other, or Beavers or Cougs, but I definitely root for all of the Pac-12 teams, as long as they're not playing Oregon. I'm rooting for you guys to have success and do well. Just a kind of a harsh reality. I think that the overall anticipation of the season and how good Washington was with Penix, and almost winning the Natty against Michigan and getting there, and then, thinking that, we're still going to be a team that's going to win, 8, 9, 10 games, and then their harsh reality is that you might end up being like a 500 team. And that definitely hurts. I'm not going to deny that fact. I mean, hell, I started watching Oregon when I was a little kid when they would win like fucking 1 game a year. And I still would watch it, from beginning to end. And so it takes time to build a championship contender and also to have consistency. But I do feel for you. And hopefully things get a little bit better for the USC Trojans, the UCLA Bruins, as well as the Washington Huskies. But at least there's one team, out of the 4 that is being able to hold it down, for the Big Ten and hold it down for the Pac-12 coming over. So, but, that's kind of the way that it goes, and hopefully things will get a little bit better for you, Captain Oreo. 7-0 Ducks. Let's go, baby. Daniel in the building. What's good? Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and we're going to be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. And then after this is over, I'm going to spend time with my pup. We're going to end up watching the Dodgers and Yankees go at World Series game number 2. I streamed the game last night. Fucking incredible. Freddie Freeman, what can you say? Grand salami in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs. I mean, that's something that you think about being a little kid in the backyard with the wiffle ball with your family or friends. And Freddie Freeman actually made it a fucking reality like Kirk Gibson did when I was 6 in 1988. So congratulations to the Dodgers. That should be great. We got a wild slate of college football today. Obviously, great games on the NFL slate tomorrow. And then obviously on Monday night, you're going to have Giants and Steelers. We'll see what Russell Wilson can do. Maybe Malik Neighbors will play for the Giants and Danny Dimes. And then obviously you have World Series game number 3 at the same exact time, but it'll be in New York. So this is a must-win game for New York. You've got to be able to split the series to give yourself a chance to try to win in 6 or 7. But if you end up getting down 2-0, it's very clear that once it goes back to New York, that they can win a couple and tie it up. But again, the emotional damage of losing that the way that they did last night might carry over to New York's players today. So it'll be very difficult for them to recover from that. Yeah, but I don't get any joy, Captain, seeing the Huskies play bad or underwhelm or lose games. I know most Oregon fans love seeing the Huskies fucking sad and struggle, or the Cougs or the Beavers, but I'm not built like everybody else. I want our conference and our teams to have success. And honestly, I wish the Pac-12 still fucking existed and we were still all there together. But this is the way that the money works in college football. Little halfback toss on 3rd down and 4. Get to the sideline. Jordan James, first down, Oregon. Move the chains. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. Gabriel, going deep, touchdown, Oregon. Is this one going to be a blowout? It looks like it. Doesn't matter if you're ranked 20th and you're 6-1. We're about to blow you out of the water. Justice Low, 13-0, Oregon. Let's go. Oregon trying to win the Natty, baby. First we got to stay undefeated, right? Then after we stay undefeated, we got to try to play up to the Oregon Ducks standard in the playoff. No guarantees that happens, but this definitely feels like a different type of year. But even if we ended up going undefeated, running through a bunch of the teams in the college football playoff, if we end up playing Ohio State or Georgia, there is a legitimate shot where we could lose, and Ohio State or Georgia might end up winning it all. Not saying that any other team doesn't have a shot, but we'll have to kind of see where it goes. But I'm actually kind of hoping that we play Ohio State or Georgia in the Natty, specifically Georgia, if they get there, so that way we can get a little bit of revenge on them from a couple years ago. Kick is up, and it's good. 14-0, Oregon, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. We're looking good. Way to bring that electricity, Oregon Ducks. 14-0, Oregon. And again, like I mentioned, when I was a little kid, I just wished one day that they would have an elite defense, maybe top 10 defense, and I was hoping top 10 offense, and just kind of wondering how good could we be at that point, because we've never had a good defense overall, top to bottom. This is the first time in Oregon Duck history from top to bottom. We are very, very good. I mean, there's not very many teams that have defense as good as us besides maybe Texas, Ohio State, Georgia, Oregon. We're all at the top as far as defense is concerned, and it feels good. And it shows you our offense may not be as spectacular, when we had Bo Nix. It may not be as spectacular as when we had Marcus Mariota or LaMichael James or DeAnthony Thomas, but we still got enough players to get it done here in 2024. Let's go, baby. Absolutely. Like I said, I'll be rooting for all of you guys, in the division, USC, Washington, UCLA, and, even teams that are still stuck there like the Cougs or the Beavs. So. Daniel in the building. What's good? Nice catch by Justice Lowe, baby. Cole in the building, what's good? Daniel in the building, what's good? Sean in the building, what's good? Matt in the building, what's good? Megan in the building, what's good? Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Atticus Sappington about to kick off. All right, we need 3 more likes to get to 20. If you're in the room and haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Thank you to the couple of you that just did. Now we're at 19. We need 1 more to get to 20. Let's get there, baby. And then once we get there, we'll hit the algorithm, and then we might be able to get a little bit of a boost. Let's go. Let's go. First down and 10 for Luke Altmaier, who's actually a pretty solid quarterback this year. Only has 1 pick, like 16 touchdowns, 1 pick. Little screen. 8-yard gain there for Illinois. Switch up the logo here, give them some love. top right logo that either will be spinning or morphing or spinning side to side will indicate who has the football in the stream. 2nd down and 2 for Luke Altmaier. Shotgun set, man in motion. Altmaier, hands off late. Nice tackle there. 1st down, Fighting Illini. (14-0) Ducks. 1st down and 10. Oregon crowd, one of the best in the country. Little play action fake. Altmaier going long, going deep. Got a man. Intercepted. Let's go. Tyshim Johnson, baby. Again, we got Jabbar Muhammad. We got lots of quality pieces. Now, Luke Altmaier, you might be able to get away with that against the mid-tier or bottom-tier teams in the Big Ten. You are not going to get away with that against Oregon or Ohio State, top-tier defenses. There we go. Luke Altmaier with his 2nd pick of the season, and that won't be the last pick that we get against him here this afternoon. Fuck yeah, let's go. I mean, it might be easy against some of the other teams in the Big Ten, and you might have had an easy schedule up to this point, right? Having the record that you do, 6-1. But just because you're 3-1 in the conference and you've been playing kind of a soft schedule, once you end up playing the big boys like Ohio State or Oregon or, Penn State or whoever's ranked in the top 20, you'll learn. You'll learn today. Illinois, 20th ranked. They keep playing like that. They may not be ranked after this game. Let's go. Handoff. Whittington, put your shoulder down, Noah. There we go. Zay in the building. What's good? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. We'll always be shooting for 100 in the donos on the dono train. And obviously 30 to 50 likes on the stream. 2nd down and 3. Des Johnson, man in motion, shotgun set. And they go to the opposite end of the field there. Pass incomplete, I believe, to Evan Stewart. And I love calling games, but man, my favorite thing to do is to be in Eugene. That is no question. I love being at, a Mariner game in Seattle. That's probably my number 2. But number 1 is definitely Eugene. And, I don't know if I could live anywhere else than where I live now. But if I were to live somewhere else, Eugene and Seattle would definitely be high on the list. Great, great sport towns. 3rd down and 3. Gabriel kind of taking a look at the defense to see if they're shifting from man to zone. Shotgun set. Direct snap to Jordan James. But Illinois was not confused on that particular play. Good defense there by the Fighting Illini. Why do they got to have such a difficult name to say? Fighting Illini? Golly. Good defense there by the Fighting Illini. 4th down and 1. And looks like the Ducks are going to punt. I mean, obviously, we could always run a sneak and we could be like Dan Campbell and just fucking roll the dice, Vegas, and be like Chip Kelly. But this is the correct call to punt the football. You don't need to get greedy. The game is already 14-0. Play the field position game. Don't be stupid and go for it and get stopped and then give them a free touchdown. So, again, I know sometimes we will, kind of feel like we're getting into that Chip Kelly vibe. But again, you got to be smart if you want to be able to win this game. Eagles, Bengals, Jets, Pats, Colts, Texans, Ravens, Browns, Bears, Commanders, Chiefs, Raiders, Panthers, Broncos. Chase Brown and Sidney Brown. The Brown family. I don't think a lot of people knew that was the brothers from another mother. Same mother. 1st down and 10, 14-0 Oregon. Altmaier. This is going to be his toughest test of the year, besides Ohio State. Or a top-tier squad like that, or Penn State. Hand off. Little stutter step. Little hezzy. And a gain of 9 yards there on first down. Nice job. Now, the way college football has changed over the years, though, you have to have an elite coach, right? You have to obviously, have a good NIL program. You have to understand there's no loyalty anymore to coaches or players. You might have a quarterback for a season and he might dip to another team the following year, even if he's a 5-star chip recruit. Nice cutback. Uh-oh. Down the sideline, first down, fighting Illini. But there's a flag on the play. Bring it back for holding, baby. Let's see what happens here. No foul on the play. Wow. First down, Illinois. Move the chains. Great run, great play there by Illinois. And again, I don't necessarily want this game to be like 56-0. That is a bad call. That was a push in the back. That definitely should have come back. He pushed him right in the back, right there. Come on. I mean, what is this? Is it the same refs that called the fucking Vikings and Rams with Sam Darnold? Come on. Horrible call. Very blatant push in the back, right in front of the running back. Come on, refs. Jesus Christ. First down and 10. Shotgun set, Altmaier, hands off. Valentine with the short gain. Unbelievable, right? Look at Savage right here. Push in the back. I mean, you think that the fucking running back is going to be able to go past him that easily? And then the number 4 just goes down and flops like he didn't do anything. Unbelievable. Jesus. Get the calls correct. And I get it. Maybe they want this game to be a little bit closer. Obviously number 20 versus number 1. I want it to be a good game, but I don't want it to be like that. Big blown call. Second down and 8. Altmaier. Franklin. Incomplete. I mean, I'm all for them making big plays, but I don't want them to cheat to be able to get touchdowns. Come on now. Beautiful scene from Autzen. All the homies are there. Let's go. Let's go, defense. We can stop them. Crowd getting loud with the O. Third down and 8. Pressure coming. Get his ass. Floater. Incomplete. Good defense by the Ducks. I mean, in years past, that could have easily led to a touchdown, so we'll take that. Field goal is up, and it's good. 14-3, Oregon. We'll take that, even though that should have ended up probably being a punt, based on that push in the back. But, I mean, hopefully we get a makeup call to make up for it. It's like Oregon getting the interception against Ohio State, and it's very clear that we intercepted the football. But, I mean, I don't want to say that these college refs are worse than the NFL, but, I mean, it makes you kind of wonder sometimes. 14-3, Oregon. Over some of the other college football scores here today. We got BYU, number 11 in the nation, 10-0 over UCF. We got a good one. Number 21, Missouri, going against number 15, Alabama. We assume Alabama is going to win. They're up 3-0 right now. Jalen Milroe is a stud. Number 5, Texas. Number 25, Vandy. Obviously knotted up here at 0. Ohio State won 21-17 over Nebraska. Nebraska unranked with the Patrick Mahomes clone. Notre Dame, 12, Navy 24, 51-14. Notre Dame Fighting Irish with a big win. Number 13, Indiana 31, Washington 17. Indiana undefeated 8-0. Good for them. Ole Miss 26, Oklahoma 14. And we got Miami and Florida State later today. Penn State, Wisconsin later today. Both of those will be fucking blowouts. And then you got LSU and A&M, which should be good at 4:30. Kansas State in a rivalry game at 5. And then SMU and Duke at the end of the night. All right, let's go, baby. All right, man in motion, shotgun set, little play action bootleg across the field. Oh my, Tez Johnson, follow your blockers. Go, baby, go. First down, Oregon. And I don't really like quarterbacks throwing across their body or across the field. If you have a corner that has, good awareness, that could end up leading to a pick six at some point, or we could end up running like a little stop and go, and it could lead to a touchdown off a pump fake. But got to be a little careful there. Gabriel, throw it away. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a Fighting Illini sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Got to get rid of it, Dylan, but I'd rather have him take a sack lunch than throw a pick or fumble. So, again, got to be smart with the football and throw it away. But, again, if you're not going to throw it away, just take that sack lunch. It's going to be less devastating to the Oregon offense by taking a sack lunch rather than a bad fumble or a bad interception or a bad pick six. We're at 22 likes. Let's get to 30. 8 more. Let them know, Cole. Let's go. And we're going to still wait for our first dono on the dono train. Last couple of nights have been pretty good. We've hit 200 and 300 plus on the donos the last 2 days. Shout out to Reflect, Captain Oreo, and a few others, Odin Sun, to get that done. Trayshawn Holden. No spitting. No spit zone. And he's lucky that he's not suspended for the rest of the year. Can't be doing that shit. Career passing yards. Dylan Gabriel climbing up the ladder. Case Keenum, number 1. Dylan Gabriel, number 2. And Timmy Chang for Matt there in Hawaii, number 3. And obviously we already know Colt Brennan in Hawaii as well. They obviously know how to sling it out there in the islands. I like having a lot of Samoan and Hawaiian players on Oregon. It's a good vibe. Russell looks good now, though. He's got more value than Justin Fields. And again, the Steelers are winning with him, and I imagine he's going to have a monster day this Monday Night Football against the Giants. The Giants are fucking terrible. I mean, I don't really like Russell Wilson as a man or a person, but he's a better player than Daniel Jones. I wouldn't want Daniel Jones as my quarterback. I don't think I would want Russell Wilson either, but based off the weapons that they have to go to and the coach, that's really the most important thing, having a guy like Mike Tomlin be able to coach up Russ, even if he's all, living in his own fucking world, thinking that he's still a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, which he's not. But, Russ has definitely got a little bit of flash still left in the tank. I'm not saying he's a top 10 quarterback by any means, but he looks like he might be a top 16 quarterback, and we'll see if he can end up continuing that as the season goes along, or if he gets benched for Justin Fields. We'll have to wait and find out. How much is Miami going to beat Florida State by? 50? It's going to get ugly. Definitely want to watch Cam Ward and Damian Martinez. That's my favorite team to watch in college football right now. The Miami Hurricanes. I mean, like I said, I watched Boise State just get by UNLV last night, and Genti obviously didn't really have a monster game like he typically does, but Miami is really, really fun to watch. I always like keeping up on Alabama and Georgia and Texas and Ohio State, but I feel like as far as like offense is concerned, I like Oregon's defense. Like Georgia, they are the most exciting, I think, in the country this year. But as far as offense is concerned, I like watching Miami. I think that they got the funnest offense to watch in college football with Cam Ward as well as Damian Martinez, former Pac-12 studs from the Cougs. and the Beavers from Washington State and Oregon State, now part of the U with Mario Cristobal. And think about it, if they didn't have Cam Ward or Damian Martinez, we're not talking about Miami here today. Yeah, they got one win. They're 1-6. 1-6 Florida State. And they ended up mopping the floor with the U last year. You know, that was before they had Cam Ward and Damian Martinez. You best believe that they are going to, you know, they're going to do everything in their power to probably get to like 60 or 70. I assume that they're going to really try to mop the floor with them, and we'll see where it goes. But if Miami ends up getting to 50 tonight, I wouldn't be shocked. But it would be pretty badass, you know, if Oregon or Ohio State ended up, you know, winning the Natty and representing the Big Ten, especially, you know, Oregon coming in from a Pac-12 school. The other three that came over with USC, Washington, and UCLA have no chance, but at least one team out of the four does. And again, you know, Michigan winning it last year, you know, kind of putting the Big Ten on the map, and normally it was Michigan or Ohio State. Penn State was obviously a good team, but not in the same caliber typically as Michigan or Ohio State. And then, you know, Georgia, Bama seem a little bit more beatable than normal. And now they have Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC. So it's really Texas, you know, Bama and Georgia versus Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State. But again, top to bottom, you know, it looks like the Big Ten might be a little bit stronger than the SEC. But again, we'll see what happens as the year goes along. End of the first quarter, 14-3, Oregon. Let him know, Dan. That's my boy. Third down and 17. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Dan. We need you, baby. Let's go. Little screen pass on third down and 17. Blockers downfield. Almost a first down. Gain of about 16 on that play. Fourth down and 1 on the Illinois 37. Crazy how Oregon can make a screen pass that should only be able to get 5 to 9 yards and almost get a first down out of it. But it's all about the execution and the blockers downfield getting a hat on a hat. All right, Megan, take care. I would agree. I would go for it here on fourth down. I mean, depending on where we're on the field and if we're on our side of the 50, about to score, yeah, absolutely, I would go for it here. Fourth down and 1, Gabriel. Little play action. Look at that. Beautiful. Patrick Herbert, Justin Herbert's brother. First down, Oregon. Hell yeah. Let's go, baby. Dan Lanning loves that, baby. Let's go. Nice job. First down and 10. Man in motion. Whittington. Push the pile. Short gain. Chief in the building. What's good, brother? 14-3 Oregon. Number 20, Illinois Fighting Illini, 6-1, 3-1 in the conference versus the number 1 Oregon Ducks, 7-0, 4-0 in conference. Number 1 since the first time since 2012, and we're trying to hang on to that for the rest of the year. Gabriel, design run, takes a hit, says, get the fuck off me. First down, Oregon, move the chains. Let's go. How are you, man? How is everything? You ready to beat up on the Raiders this weekend? Gardner Minshew has thrown 5 picks in the last 2 games, and he's the backup now, obviously, since they went to Aiden O'Connell, and then he ended up having an injury. The Chief defense is going to eat on the weekend. You guys might end up winning that game by 10, 17, 20. Could be, even though we know Mahomes and that offense has been a little sus, Gabriel, touchdown, Oregon. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Great play call right there, baby. Yep. It's going to get ugly, tomorrow. And I imagine Matt's Denver Broncos, if they get Patrick Surtain, they're going to be going against Bryce Young. And Young hasn't even thrown a touchdown pass this year. So I feel both defenses, Denver as well as Kansas City, are going to fucking eat this weekend. How's everything going for you, Chief? Anything new going on? Yeah, I remember. And obviously the one person that you have to keep an eye on is Max Crosby. That's the guy that can kind of shift the tides a little bit, where they know that their offense stinks. They don't got Devontae Adams anymore. Zamir White isn't very good. They don't really have any weapons to go to, anymore. But again, one thing that they do have is Max Crosby, and he is kind of a game changer. But other than that, if you can just, find a way to be able to execute a little bit more sharply in the last month, obviously this weekend, it could be a good revenge win for you guys. And, we'll see what happens defensively, for both of your guys' teams. The Broncos going against a crappy Bryce Young, and then obviously going against Gardner Minshew, who was the starter, got benched, and in the last 2 opportunities that has gone in, has thrown 5 picks. So I don't know what defense will eat more. The guy that's thrown 5 picks in the last 2 games as the backup, who used to be the starter, and Gardner Minshew for the Chief defense, or a guy like Bryce Young, who was the starter, then got benched, obviously, for Andy Dalton, and now is back in, but he hasn't even thrown a touchdown pass all year. Like, who's more likely to fuck up, in that game, I guess? And I know Deontay Johnson is out, so the Panthers are going to be throwing to a bunch of backups, but they do have Chuba Hubbard. But as far as, the Raiders are concerned, they got Brock Bowers, and he is one of the best tight ends in the game, but other than that, not really a whole lot to go to, so we will see how it goes. No, I hear you, man. World Series was wild. Did you, I don't know how much of a baseball fan that you are. Did you end up watching any of that Freddie Freeman Grand Salami last night? Man, that was wild. Ended up doing the stream yesterday for that, and the Yankees dominated that game, pretty much top to bottom, and they needed a miracle out of Ohtani as well as Freddie Freeman to be able to win late. And they play here tonight in a couple hours. But I'm just going to watch it with Paisley after doing this Duck game. So, yeah, the defense really hasn't been very good overall. The defense, as far as like non-fantasy numbers, they've been one of the better defenses in the NFL. But as far as like fantasy points, getting fumbles, getting picks, they haven't really, they've been holding teams to a decent, score, but they haven't really been able to get a lot of touchdowns on defense or fumbles or interceptions. And hopefully that'll be something that turns up this weekend for you guys. Genty and Ward, baby. Heisman watch. Bottom of the 8th, yeah. 21-3 Oregon. Wish I was there in Eugene, but I do like calling the games here as well. But being there is just, it's like my second home. It's my home away from home. Oh, they played Ohio State. Wow. Illinois upsetting Ohio State. Not going to happen today, though. Not today. Would be great to be able to see a fumble for a touchdown or a pick six. I always want to be able to see the defense, get sack lunches, strip sacks, picks, fumbles. But it would be really awesome if we could end up getting a defensive touchdown tonight. Altmaier, little bootleg, check down, going to his safe option. And 3 Ducks are there, converging on the tackle. Savage playing like a fucking savage. Let's go. 21 Savage. 21. Let's go. 2nd down and 4. Ten for 14, 161 yards. Altmaier 3 for 6. Not looking too good so far. Handoff. Short gain there for McCray. One of your family members is diehard Yankees. A lot of Yankee fans that are all over the globe. I mean, Dodgers and Yankees. They got a lot of hardcore fans and a lot of bandwagon fans, right? As far as having success year in and year out, right? Good tackle there by Oregon. One-on-one, Illinois does not know what they're doing against this type of Oregon defense. And it's exciting that Dan Lanning is being able to bring that Georgia, type of talent here to Oregon. And hopefully that will continue year in and year out, and we can still have a top 3 defense every year Dan Lanning is there. And if that's the case, we are going to have a chance for a natty in the next 5 to 10 years, if not this year. Floater down the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Should have been pass interference on Oregon, and he still fucking caught it. Pat Bryant, their number 1 receiver, no relation to Dez, I believe, but that was a tip and another tip, and he keeps his eye on it. One-handed grab, but does it hit the ground, though? Oh, that might be incomplete. And then they tried to do a little fast snap right there, but great effort by Pat Bryant, but that's incomplete, though. But a great effort, though, by Pat. Doing his best impersonation of Dez Bryant right here. Look at this. He tips it off his helmet, and then tips it off himself. And if he could have just got the football underneath on the bottom part of his palm, that would have been a catch, but a little bit too much of the turf that it hits right here, and that is incomplete. That's a hell of an effort, though. I'll give him that. Nice job by Pat Bryant. Great opportunity. Oh, CC Sabathia. Oh, that's understandable. CC was awesome to watch for his whole career. It's like me. I'm not a Yankee fan, but I love Aaron Judge. When I went to the Mariner game and got the Aaron Judge ball, it's kind of hard not to, appreciate a player when you get a ball like that. Pass incomplete. Good call. Refs got it right. Good job, Big Ten refs. They actually did something right today. And obviously my dad has been a Dodger fan since the 50s, so... And obviously me being, Japanese and representing Ichiro and Shohei, obviously is nice to be able to see the success of the Asian sensations coming into America and having some good success like Ichiro as well as Shohei Ohtani. All right, Cole, take care. 3rd down and 11. Shotgun set for Altmaier. Blitz. Get his ass. Yeah! 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for an Oregon Duck sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. There we go. Eat it up, baby. Big sack lunch. Ball comes out, punched out there at the very end. You ask and you shall receive. And Oregon recovers. That should be Oregon football right there, baby. Ball came out. Let's see if the refs get this one right or not. Great effort by the Oregon Ducks. And again, I love offense, and Oregon has always, had that. But, having a great Oregon defense, even better. Shows you how dominant we can really be. Defense is a 10 out of 10. Right, here comes the flag, and we're going to get the ball here. Defense is a 10 out of 10, best we've ever had. Offense, I would say, is maybe an 8. It's not as good as like the Bo Nix or the, Joey Harrington or Marcus Mariota eras, but it's not that far behind. We have some like RB2s and wide receiver 2s, but again, Gabriel has been playing like a Heisman candidate, and he's right there with every other quarterback in college football this year. Great punch out by Oregon. They're still not going to give us the ball? Should have got the ball. We recovered. I guess it depends on when the whistle blew. Fighting Illini with the punt. And we got great field position where we're about to score another touchdown here in about 5 seconds. Oregon looking damn good. And again, I told y'all, the only game that we had a chance to really lose if we brought our A game was Ohio State. We won by 1, and that's good enough. And I don't see us losing until we get to the college football playoff. No disrespect to any of the other teams in the Big Ten, and regardless if we were number 1, number 5, number 9, you can definitely tell if you haven't watched Oregon, this is a different type of team that we've ever had in quite a while. And again, if we are going to lose, it would be like losing to like Miami, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas. We're going to end up losing to another big dog, and we're not going to lose to one of these little pups. Again, Illinois might be 20th, and that's all nice and dandy, but you ain't beating us, especially not in Austin. Indiana's good, but they haven't played anybody like us. I mean, Indiana started off with Michael Penix Jr. before he ended up transferring to UW. And Indiana, they're a good team this year, but I don't think, anyone thinks that they're going to end up, making a big run. At some point they will get beat. We got Michigan, Maryland, Wisconsin, and Washington, so we don't even play Indiana, So, again, if we play Indiana in the college football playoff, I don't think they would beat us. I think that, if we were going to lose, it would be more to like a Miami or a Texas or an Ohio State or a Georgia, And I'll give them the respect, because normally Indiana isn't good, let alone undefeated. So they obviously have a special team and a special thing going. But, if our defense wasn't like ranked number 1, number 2 in the country, I would say, yeah, maybe Indiana would have a shot if we played them in the regular season or maybe in the college football playoff. But, at some point when Indiana actually plays some better competition, we'll see how good they really are. I mean, they've beaten. Let's see who they've beaten. All right, so you beat FIU, garbage. Western Illinois, garbage. UCLA, garbage. Charlotte, garbage. Maryland, garbage. Northwestern, garbage. And then Nebraska, they've had some moments, but they blew them out. And they ended up beating Washington today. They haven't played anybody fucking good yet. They got Michigan State, Michigan, and then they got the tough one, Ohio State, on November 23rd. So if they end up beating Ohio State, you can come talk to me then, but I highly doubt that will happen. But it's easy to go 7-0 when you've been playing a bunch of fucking dog shit teams. There's over 100 Division I schools, right? And there's only a top 25. And I'll give them credit. You're undefeated, and normally you're not. But who have you played? You haven't played anybody. Now, if Indiana would have beaten a couple ranked top 25 teams up to this point to be 7-0, then I would say, yeah, they could. But they haven't played anybody good up to this point. And when they play Ohio State, let's see if they end up getting the upset or if they end up getting fucking blown out. But Ohio State really hasn't looked very good lately either. So maybe Indiana could beat them. And that's not really saying Indiana's great. It's just kind of Ohio State isn't as good as we thought. First down and 10, Oregon. But I do like surprises, regardless if it's Pac-12, Big Ten, and having a school that kind of comes out of nowhere. So shout out to Indiana for going undefeated and being 8-0. That's a huge accomplishment for them. Shotgun set, first down and 10. Gabriel, good pressure. There we go. Evan Stewart, first down, Oregon. Move the chains. Sliding down to his knees, but we'll take that grab. Nice job. Sliding in there, safe. Nice job by Evan Stewart. Definitely has improved quite a bit from last year. About 7 minutes left here in the second quarter. Oregon trying to get another touchdown here. Little end around. Walker's downfield. Block for him. Get to the sideline. Nice tackle by the Fighting Illini. And I never want to discredit anyone that's having a fantastic season, but again, once we look at a record, it seems all nice and dandy, but when you're playing like dog shit schools, that maybe shouldn't even have a fucking football team, and you're ending up, winning that particular matchup. Yeah, it's a win, but it's like, how much can you really put on that win when it's like a garbage team, Not every team in college football in the NFL is created equally, right? But it definitely feels like Ohio State, after they lost to Oregon, they kind of are in shambles a little bit. They don't feel like they're the same dominant Buckeye team that we're used to seeing, like we ripped their heart out, and they haven't really played good since. They're still winning, but not winning in extraordinary fashion like they normally do. So, but that doesn't mean that they can't win the whole thing or get hot in the college football playoff. I wouldn't count them out. But I don't think Will Howard is a very good quarterback in my opinion. So, might be better than Kyle, that they had before. That transferred to Syracuse. There we go. Right up the gut. Touchdown, Oregon. Noah Whittington. Let's go. Looking like Kenyon Barner on that fucking run. Touchdown, Ducks. Let's go. Nice job, Noah. Dan fucking loves it. Let's go. Go Ducks. Extra point is up, and it's good. 28-3 against the 20th ranked Fighting Illini. Is that good? Damn right it is. Let's go. Yeah, and remember how we were complaining in the first 2 to 3 weeks on how Will Stein's, play calling, obviously our injuries on the offensive line and trying to fill those gaps, we didn't look good. But again, when you have injuries to your O-line or D-line, no team looks good in the NFL or in college football. But his creativity in the play calling has gone from vanilla to a little bit of everything, almost like a sherbet where you're getting a little chocolate, you're getting a little vanilla, you're getting a little strawberry. It's definitely not a plain vanilla, offense anymore. And he's definitely, going a little above and beyond. And that's what we want to see. That's what we expect to see. And that's what we need to see for the Oregon Ducks. Nice job, Will Stein. Let's go, baby. And then early in the season, he looked like a poor man's Tim Tebow, right? Where, it didn't look that great in the first couple of weeks, but we definitely have turned things around. And again, it shows you like how good of a coach Dan Lanning is. And, more than likely he'll end up winning Coach of the Year. And I'm hoping that we can go as far as that he can take us. But even if we don't win the Natty this year, it just feels like Oregon is on the right path. You don't have Harbaugh at Michigan anymore. Saban has retired. So it feels like, okay, Kirby Smart is at Georgia. They're going to be good. Sarkisian is at Texas. They're normally going to be in the top 5. Ohio State's got Ryan Day, but he can't win a top 5 matchup, but he's still very, very good. And then you got Dan Lanning. So it really feels that, besides maybe Kirby Smart, we got, the top coach in college football, number 1 or number 2. So it's just kind of a matter of time of getting the right players, the right scheme, the right offense and defensive coordinators, and just putting it all together. And hopefully this will be the year that, they can end up winning the chip. I mean, I've been a fan since the 80s, and this is probably the closest that if we can keep continuing this trend, then obviously those couple opportunities that we had in the Natty, obviously one with Marcus Mariota when we lost to Ohio State, I knew we weren't going to win that one. But the Natty that we should have won was the one against Cam Newton and Auburn. That was ours with Jeff Mayo, right? And the studs that we ended up having on that roster with LaMichael James, right? That should have been the one that we would have, Dylan, with Darren Thomas. That was the one that we should have won. That was the one that was ripped out of our hands when the Auburn player rolled on his back, got those additional yards, and then ended up kicking the field goal and we lost. That was really the only big game that I felt that we got robbed. And that was the one. But sometimes you got to lose before you win. You got to crawl before you walk. You got to feel the pain before you can celebrate. And even though that championship hurt, it was just a, kind of a sign of things to come in the Chip Kelly era now as we transition into Dan Lanning. 28-3, Oregon. Jerry in the building, what's good? It'd be great to be able to get a fumble for a touchdown or a pick six. Let's go Ducks. And, think about how bad we looked in the first couple of weeks to where we're at now. That should be something that should be considered. Not that, Oregon wasn't that good and, they're number 1 now. Like, you got to think how many teams would have been able to look that shitty in the first 2 weeks and then to turn it around and still not lose a game and then end up being number 1. Not many coaches could do that. Maybe Ryan Day, maybe Sarkisian, maybe, Kirby Smart and then Dan Lanning, and that's probably it. So a really big accomplishment that we've been able to turn this season around, and hopefully we're destined for the Natty. .525 left. 2nd down and 9. See if the Fighting Illini can get anything going. They're definitely shocked right now. First down, Fighting Illini. Move the chains. But Altmaier, going from like 16 touchdowns and 1 pick, and then now playing an actual top-tier team, he hasn't faced anything like this today. And, I mean, if we keep playing like this, he might not even get a touchdown pass in this game. That's saying something for a guy that had 16 touchdowns and 1 pick going into the game. 6-1 record. Shotgun set. Oh, deflected, almost picked. I got Paisley Pup in here. Wanted to spend time with Dad. Good girl. 2nd down and 10. Little play action fake. Altmaier, the little hezzy, dives for the first down, about 5 yards short, and then fumbles. We got a player down. Hopefully he's okay. LZ is down. Third down and 3. Let's go. Third down and 3. Man in motion. Shotgun set for Altmaier. Playing it safe with a little handoff. Hit him. Don't hit him late. First down, Fighting Illini. That was a good play call by Illinois. First down and 10, shotgun set. Oh, little trick play. Flea flicker, get his ass. Floater, and there's nothing there. Good defensive coverage by Oregon. We're not getting fooled for any of that cute trickery. That might have worked against a shit-ass team, but not against Oregon. Nice job. Bassa with that discipline, baby. Nice job, Jeffrey. 28-3, Oregon. Second down and 10. Handoff. They don't even trust Altmaier's arm. I mean, for a guy that's got 16 touchdowns and 1 pick, Oregon is intimidating the hell out of him. I mean, they don't even feel comfortable throwing fucking screen passes. That's the Oregon defense rubbing off on Illinois. You know, they are very uncomfortable right now. Good discipline by the Ducks. Thank God we got Dan Lanning. Third down and 7. Little toss. They don't even want to throw the football in Oregon. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Make me get the Conor McGregor fucking strut going on. Let's go. Hell yeah. 4th and 8. Fourth and 8 with the punt. Yeah, one more score before halftime would be great. Oh, fumbled it, but it recovered. I mean, I'll even take a field goal, just to get 31-3, get into the 30s by halftime, and then obviously once we're ahead by that amount going into the second half, we'll probably, bleed the clock, run the ball, and we're probably not going to get to 50 today, but we could get into the 40s. And obviously if we can hold the Illinois to 10 or less, that would be obviously the goal. Minnesota, Washington, Nebraska, USC, Northwestern, Maryland, Rutgers, UCLA, and Purdue. And hopefully we'll get UCLA, Washington, and USC climbing, the rankings as the season goes along and next year, but shows you how competitive it is. Shotgun set. Handoff. Jordan James, stiff arm, with a little juke, spin move. Ooh, baby. Jordan James kind of reminds me a little bit of Jonathan Stewart. And Noah Whittington is a little kind of a Kenyon Barner. They definitely have the athleticism. And Jordan James obviously does a few more spin moves than Jonathan Stewart ever did. But kind of a similar type of body frame to run guys over. Second down and 1. 4 touchdowns on 5 possessions, tied for most in the first half this season. 2-minute timeout. And our jerseys and helmets are so clean. Let's go. Every week, it's just a fucking gem. Never forget this game. Maybe we can get something like this here on this 2-minute drill. And we got to get points. You know, again, you want to make sure you're maximizing every strategic moment that you have, you know, and trying to be able to get 3 at the very minimum. And of course, they're going to be trying to get 6 to make it 35-3. And obviously, Illinois ready to pack their bags and go home already. And that's exactly what we wanted in this game and exactly what we expected from this game. Texas 14, Vandy 7. All right, baby, let's get some points, Matt. Let's get this, Jerry. What a great day for college football. And we get the World Series later tonight as well. Let's go. Big dent on that pylon, baby. Second down and 1. 3 wide. Hand off to Jordan James. First down, Oregon. I wonder if we're going to play it kind of conservative here. Obviously, we don't want to throw an interception or have a fumble or a pick to get them back in the game at 28-10. But I would love to be able to see if we can squeak in at least a field goal before halftime if possible, or at least give Atticus Sappington a chance. But obviously, touchdowns are definitely preferred over an Atticus Sappington opportunity. So. Go Ducks, baby. All right, we're at 22. 8 more likes to get to 30. Let's get there, baby. We're still waiting on the dono train, but hopefully we'll end up getting some support before the stream ends. Let's air it out, man. There's no reason to be afraid and no reason to, just be conservative and run the ball, and have them use their timeouts and get the ball back. Let's put the pressure on that fucking secondary and let's toss this football. Let's go. Shotgun set, pump fake. Dylan Gabriel. Yes, he is. Tez Johnson. Look at the yak yards. And, Tez initially looked like a wide receiver 2 in the first couple games of the year, but he has transformed himself into a wide receiver 1, just like, some of the individuals that we ended up having last year, like Troy Franklin. Nice little pump. Dylan Gabriel gets smacked in the elbow. Hopefully he's okay. Maybe he needs to get an elbow pad right on the helmet on that particular follow-through throw. Hopefully he's okay. Me too. I love the yak yards. And again, sometimes, when you're watching Tez, it looks like he's a better yards after catch runner than even Troy Franklin last year. Franklin was able to get some long bombs from Bo Nix, but as far as yards after catch, if it ends up being a 5 to 15 yard pass, Tez, it seems like he's got better running ability and vision than even Troy Franklin did last year. And Troy was amazing. So, Tez is definitely stepping up. And I finally feel that we have like RB1 status and wide receiver 1 status, even though it took us, maybe about, 7-8 weeks, to get to this point, because it kind of felt a little bit in the beginning where Jordan James was more of like an RB2, Whittington was an RB3, and Tez was maybe a wide receiver 2. But undoubtedly now we got Dylan Gabriel, quarterback 1, Tez Johnson, wide receiver 1, and on top of that, guys like Evan Stewart, complimenting him, right? And then obviously having Jordan James as RB1 and Whittington RB2. Looks like a self-inflicted injury by the Fighting Illini right here. I don't know what happened with 22 right there. It almost looked like a fake flop, but it looks like he just got up awkwardly and twisted his body in a weird motion and ended up injuring himself. I hope he's okay. All right, Dylan, let's air it out, baby. Let's get another touchdown. I want 35-3. Gabriel towards the sideline. Good zip on that pass. There we go. And that's another thing that if you've been watching the Oregon Ducks, the relationship of Gabriel as well as Tez Johnson and the other receivers, he has more zip on that football than he did in the first month of the season. And a lot of times where it might look like it would be an interception ends up being a nice zip throw. And he also knows how to have some touch. There we go. Noah Whittington, first down, Oregon. What a beast. Noah, I see you. Looking like Kenyon Varner out there. Look at him with the catch. Takes a fucking hit, slides in between. We try to grab his helmet and the back of his shoulder pad and jersey. Not going to happen today with the Oregon Ducks, baby. Let's go. We can ground and pound, and we can fucking beat you through the air. Let's go. But I'm very impressed, with Gabriel and Taz and Jordan James and Whittington, as well as Will Stein, knowing what to call to the strengths of the players. Gabriel, play action fake, good protection up front. Wow, what a catch. And again, if that's a good defense, like Ohio State, that's probably a pick 6. But obviously when you play Illinois, that's a great catch by Lowe. Got to be careful with these dangerous throws, baby. Justice Lowe. Timeout, Illinois. 44 seconds left. This team is so much more enjoyable to watch than it was in the first couple of weeks, where it was like, golly, is this what Oregon is this year? And it's nice to be able to see us have that adversity and play so bad, but still get wins, and then to really turn it up. With the defense as well as the play calling by Stein on the offense, everything is coming together. Really, the only concern I think I have now is Atticus Sappington as far as our kicker. But as long as we don't have to kick field goals as often and we can go for touchdowns, that's what we want. Noah Whittington, baby. Let's go. We got the depth. Players on players on players. And can you imagine if Oregon ends up winning the Natty, what kind of players are going to be coming to Oregon? I mean, we're going to be stealing away Bama, Georgia, Ohio State recruits, and they're going to hop ship to Oregon. It could be huge. that could put us in a great position to be able to repeat or end up getting another natty opportunity in the next 5 years. There we go, Noah. Not the same team that you saw in the first 2 weeks, but also we didn't know how good Ashton Genty was when we ended up playing him at the beginning of the year. And obviously it shows you how big that win was early on. Another injury for the Fighting Illini. Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes and the focus out of Noah Whittington. Woo! I love it, man. It's all about coaching and discipline, and Chip Kelly gave us an aura and a vibe, and I've been waiting for another coach to give me that aura and vibe on the sideline. And even though Dan Lanning doesn't wear a visor like Chip did, he's on the same level. Touchdown, Oregon. Dillon Gabriel to Noah Whittington. Look at that little flip. Great decision. Stick the arm out. Get the touchdown. We're beating the shit out of this team. Let's go. Illinois, number 20. They look like fucking number 200. Let's go. Illinois will not be ranked after this fucking week. Go Ducks. This is what a number 1 team is supposed to look like. Whether it's Oregon, Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, or anybody else, Texas, this is what it's supposed to be like. There we go. Hell yeah. 6 possessions, 5 touchdowns. Is that good? Extra point is up, and it's good. 35-3 against a ranked team. Impressive. And to say it's not, you'd be lying. Let's go. It almost makes me wish that we had Indiana on the schedule. I want Penn State on the schedule. I want Indiana on the schedule, even though that could be a potential loss for us. I want us to prove, that we are the real deal Holyfield. And I think as obviously the year goes on, people are going to start to see. But then once the college football playoff comes around, we can't get too confident and too comfortable. We still have to bring it. And I know that the players and the coaches know that. We know that we could lose to Miami. We know we could lose to Georgia or Texas or Ohio State or any of those top dogs. It could happen. But at least for today, we're feeling pretty good here in Oregon. 35-3 Ducks. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help your boy out. Let's try to get to 30 to 50 likes. And we're still waiting on the dono train. Touchdown, touchdown, punt. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Is that good? Damn right it is. And I honestly feel like the Pac-12 was more competitive than the Big Ten. I feel top to bottom, the Pac-12 is better, when it existed, especially last year when we were the best conference in college football, top to bottom. Some of the middle and bottom teams in the Big Ten are kind of weak. I think like you get a little bit more oomph, in the Pac-12 with some of the teams that we have. It's like, you got Oregon, you got Washington, you got USC, you got UCLA, but you got to remember, Oregon State, Utah, Arizona State, they may not be the most popular, but a lot of those teams that were in the middle to the bottom could still end up beating a lot of other teams in the college football scene. Let's go, baby. Finish strong. That's going to take us to the locker room, I assume, here. Go Ducks. What a dominant performance against a top 20 team in college football that's 6-1. That has a quarterback that has 16 touchdowns and 1 pick, and they're afraid to throw the football against Oregon. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. Let's go. And I know we're not going to put up 70, but could you imagine if we did? If it ends up being like 70-10? I know that we're going to run the football, a little bit more than we did in the first half to kind of bleed the clock out, and we don't need to rub it in, and be that type of team. But if it ends up being, 50-6 or 50-10, there's a good chance for us to get into the 50s now since we're already at 35. Well, everything, if you wanted to grade out the offense, the defense, the special teams, the coaching, A. Bielema is like, fuck this team. That we thought we actually had a chance to hang with these guys. 3 points? You ran into a fucking monster, baby. Let's go. One of the best first halves I've seen in years. Execution on point. Let's go, baby. Great job, Dan. Great job, Dylan. Go Ducks, baby. Let's go. If there's any other upsets or anything going on right now, I don't think so. BYU up 24-10. Bama's up 13-0 on Missouri at halftime, and Missouri is 21st in the nation. They don't have anything. Texas up 20-7 on Vandy. So nothing really crazy right now. And I definitely will watch a little bit of Miami before we get into the World Series. Some highlights, maybe. Show me some Texas and Vandy. Show me Vandy. Vandy ended up scoring first in this game against Texas. Probably gave them a little confidence since they were able to beat Bama. Ooh, nice run. Altmaier, 4 for 10 with 1 interception. Not exactly what they were assuming. Oregon, Dylan Gabriel, 16 for 20, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no picks. That's my boy. That's my boy, Blue. Yeah, but there's no way Vanderbilt should beat Texas. I mean, we still need the top-tier teams to stay dominant. And Alabama at 15 seems weird. You know, normally when we see Alabama, they're ranked 1st or 2nd or 3rd or 4th or maybe 5th, but not 15th. But that's the Nick Saban effect. Now, Nebraska had a chance against Ohio State. And it just seems like Ohio State, hasn't really fully recovered from that Oregon loss. And I know Ryan Day is fucking petty as shit. He's still trying to reach out to the committee asking if, Will Howard actually had a chance to, to get down so they could kick the field goal. Like, dude, it's over. We won. You guys didn't, call the game the way that you should have. And again, if you would have kicked the field goal, we would have lost. But it seems like those guys can't let it go. Indiana going against UW. Look at the Hoosiers. 8-0, but they haven't played anybody. Shows you how important it is to have a guy like a Michael Penix Jr. running offense. Washington drops to 4-4, 2-3 in the Big Ten. Unfortunate. I'd really like to see Washington have success. Again, you got USC and UCLA, but I would rather have Washington, based off the rivalry with Oregon, at least, represent the Pacific Northwest the right way. Navy with all of the turnovers here against Notre Dame. I know Odin's son is happy. Fighting Irish trying to prove a point that they deserve to be in the college football playoff. 51-14. Nice job by the Fighting Irish. I've always liked their jerseys. Watched them when I was a little kid. Hell, I even had a starter jacket, back in the 80s and 90s of Notre Dame. Joe Montana, Tim Brown, the Rocket Ishmael, Jerome Bettis. They've had a pretty good legacy over there. Lou Holtz. These guys are saying that they think Indiana is better than Ohio State. But the thing is if Ohio State played Indiana, what would happen? And they're going to get that matchup here in a couple weeks. Ohio State's the better team. Now, Ohio State, Penn State is going to be lights out. Can't wait for that matchup next week. I love college football. Let's go. 35-3, Oregon. Let's go. But this is really the reason why we have the team that we do. You got to have an elite head coach to have an identity, and that passion and energy that he has, and to turn down, the Bama job and a lot of the other jobs. And one day, if Kirby Smart does get fired, that they're going to be shooting for Dan Lanning to come back to Georgia and to be the head coach. But hopefully we can get Dan for 5 to 10 years here, and at least with a natty win before he ends up making that decision. Or he may decide to stay at Oregon for the foreseeable future. But again, he's in a great position. I mean, again, if Kirby Smart gets let go, who do you think they're going to call? They're definitely going to try to get Dan to come back home. And I just want to make sure that we win at least a chip before he does. Reflect in the building. What's good? Now 35-3. Pretty wild too, because their quarterback Altmaier, 16 touchdowns and 1 pick going into the game, and they're afraid to throw the football against us. And again, 4 for 10 for 29 yards and a pick is not what Illinois probably expected in this game. They probably expected that it was going to be hard and they were going to lose, but this is one of the cleanest first halves that we've had all season. So how you doing, Reflect? Appreciate all of your support on the channel. Means a lot. Sorry about the tough loss. I hate seeing, Washington and USC and UCLA struggle in this first year in the, Big Ten. But hopefully, again, things will get, better as we go into next year. But everything has been pretty crisp and clean for Oregon up to this point. Offense is dominating. The offensive line is playing well. Gabriel's playing well. The running backs are playing well. The receivers are playing well. The defense is playing phenomenal. Everything is clicking on all cylinders in the first half so far. Defense wins games. Defense wins championships. Maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year that we go all the way. But again, even if we stay undefeated for the whole regular season, once we go to the playoff, that kind of goes all out the window. You play a team like Miami or Texas or Ohio State or Georgia or Penn State, and the dream could end. And I think we know that. We know how, college football goes. But this is definitely the best defense that Oregon has ever had, and it shows. And I feel like the offense, maybe at the beginning of the year was like a 7. Now we're, a little bit better. It seems like we're at maybe an 8, 8.5. We're still not as good as the 10 on the defensive side, but we're getting closer to what we were kind of expecting, up to this point in the 2024 college football season. So, yeah, definitely not the same when you have Michael Penix Jr. or Rodgers. Rodgers isn't really playing that well. I saw Coleman ended up having over 100 yards, but no tutties. I didn't, and I know most Oregon fans just love seeing the Beavers and the Cougs and the Huskies and the Trojans struggle, and they get a lot of joy out of that, but I don't. I really like to be able to see the Pac-12 teams play well. The only time I root for them to lose is when they play Oregon. Other than that, I want them to have success and to win, but it seems like it is a very challenging year for the Huskies, the Trojans, and the Bruins. Did you end up getting a chance to watch the game, or were you running errands this morning? Kind of an early game for the Huskies, early in the morning. And obviously with Indiana, they're a good team this year, but they haven't played anybody. When they end up playing Ohio State in a couple weeks, we'll find out how good Indiana really is. But again, Ohio State really hasn't been playing very good since the Oregon loss. They've had a couple games where they barely have won. And we'll find out when Ohio State plays Penn State next week if Ohio State is the real Ohio State Buckeyes, or if they're pretenders, and if Penn State punches them in the mouth, that they can do enough to end up getting that dub. So, yes. And again, this is another thing that no one is talking about, the Pac-12 teams traveling across the globe. It makes it extra difficult for Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA, or any of the other teams that are in the Pac-12 that have to do all of that traveling. Yeah, we might be in the Big Ten, but we're still located on the West Coast. And I feel like a lot of college football fans are forgetting about that. It's not easy on the students. And it's not easy on the players having to do all that travel and to keep the grades up and to have all that travel time and thinking that that's not a factor in college football. It fucking is. Just like the Seahawks traveling, usually the most miles out of any team, having to go to the East Coast and having to bounce around the whole globe. That air time and that travel time fucking matters. But I think some, fans want to kind of sweep it under the rug like, oh, it doesn't matter. Well, yeah, if that's not your team, but if it is your team, you understand it is a fucking factor. And I totally agree with that. So, yeah. But they haven't played anybody yet. Going over, Indiana and who they've played, they really haven't played anybody yet up to this point. Indiana played FIU. Oregon could probably play FIU blindfolded and win by fucking a couple touchdowns. They played Western Illinois. Do they even have a college football team? Then they played UCLA, not a good team. Then they played Charlotte, and we're not talking the Hornets. They actually have a fucking team? Charlotte? Really? Maryland, not a good team. Northwestern, average team. Nebraska, they blew them out 56-7, and Nebraska plays good, like almost every other week, right? And then they played Washington today, maybe one of the better teams that they played up to this point. And then they got Michigan State, who's average, Michigan, average, and then they play the big one against Ohio State on the road on November 23rd. That'll prove to me if Indiana is the real deal. And then they got Purdue, who's a garbage team. So it's like they haven't really beat anybody, So, yeah, I do appreciate an 8-0 record. I do appreciate that. Not trying to take anything away. But, naming off those opponents, I mean, would you get excited beating FIU, Western Illinois, UCLA, Charlotte, Maryland, Northwestern, Nebraska, and then obviously a team that doesn't have Michael Penix Jr. or their head coach anymore, or Roma Dunze or Jalen McMillan? I mean, I get it. It's good for them, and they haven't been this good, and they had Michael Penix Jr. at Indiana, but it's like you really haven't beat anybody yet. Let me see you win against Ohio State on the road, and then I'll give you some kudos, okay? Wow. But one thing about the Hawks, though, you guys are getting healthy at the right time. And as you know and I know, if Byron is there and you get more guys healthy, you get rid of a shitty linebacker, you get a good one in return. I think things are kind of going on the up and up. We know that the Cardinals are shit. The Niners are the most injured team. The Rams look like they're going to end up making a little bit of a run, and they might pass the Niners, right? But it looks like the Seahawks, if they can just stay relatively healthy, they should be able to win the NFC West, and they should be able to win about 10 or 11 games. And be dangerous as we go further along into the season, even though the offensive line still isn't where it needs to be. The defense still isn't where it needs to be, but based off the shittiness of Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, the injuries of the Niners, with Debo with the pneumonia, and obviously he's coming back from the hospital. Ayuk out for the year. CMC hasn't even played yet. All the injuries that they've had, and then now with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua coming back, Rams defense, isn't very good, but I guess they can get away with face masks against Sam Darnold, so it doesn't matter. So I feel like the Rams are going to start to kind of go in the right direction, and we'll see if they end up passing the Niners at some point or another, unless Christian McCaffrey can be their, saving grace, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. But it just feels like if Seattle doesn't have any major injuries the rest of the year, it's their division to lose in the NFC West, and I'll be rooting for you. Panthers fan in the building, what's good? Yeah, I had to look it up to be able to see, like, okay, have you actually even beat anybody, Indiana? And again, the big test will be Indiana against Ohio State in the shoe. I definitely will be keeping a close eye on that. So, and the Rams defense isn't good. It's not. They play in spurts. They don't have Aaron Donald anymore, right? And they've had some injuries on that side of the ball. But even though Matthew Stafford is like a fucking grandpa out there, right? And he's still kind of old, he can still sling it. And he's got a quick release, even though he's old. And Puka and Cooper Kupp, when they're healthy, they're top 10 receivers, both of them. So you got 2 top 10 receivers, right? You got a top 3, top 4 running back in Kyron Williams. Offensive line still isn't where it needs to be with all those injuries. But with that being said, it seems like the Rams are kind of going in the right direction, but we'll have to see on how the defense plays in the O-line. That'll be kind of the bugaboo for the Rams the rest of the way. And the Hawks definitely need it this Sunday. I agree. You going to any flea markets, or are you going to anything like that today? You going to any type of shops, to be able to find any goodies this weekend? What do you got planned? You running more errands? I'm not going to do World Series Game 2. I'm just going to spend time with Paisley. Obviously went on a late walk and got, obviously settled in just in time. But I'll end up watching game number 2. Congratulations to Freddie Freeman with that magic, with that grand salami. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. It's just like you being in the backyard with Dad with the wiffle ball, and you live for moments like that. But Freddie Freeman had a Kirk Gibson moment, and it was amazing last night. Definitely excited about that, as well as the NFL games tomorrow. We'll do Niners, Cowboys tomorrow, Sunday night, and then we'll do Giants and Steelers on Monday night. All right, talk soon. Appreciate you. I really would like a fumble for a touchdown or a pick 6. Goodwill, too crowded, yeah. Sometimes you can really find some good gems there. Let's go, baby. 35-3. It is a one-sided affair. Dylan Gabriel is wheeling and dealing, and Tez Johnson looking like a wide receiver 1. And I really appreciate that. Getting Jordan James looking like an RB1, looking like a Jonathan Stewart, and Tez Johnson looking great out there as well. Hand off. Short game. Altmaier afraid to throw. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're shooting for 30 to 50 likes and obviously 100 on the donos on every single stream, and we're still waiting on the first dono train to get started. Altmaier. First down, Illinois. What's good, Panthers fan? LeGarrette Blount, loved him. LeGarrette was great, man. LeGarrette was like a Marshawn Lynch. They were almost identical. Again, obviously Marshawn being a little bit better than LeGarrette overall wise, but LeGarrette, got himself on the right team at the right time and got himself a couple chips. Being that bruiser back, and obviously we loved him at Oregon. With LaMichael James. Loved him in Tampa when I had him for a brief period of time, and then he ended up going to a few other teams and having success. But LaMichael was always like my favorite running back Oregon's ever had. I'm a LaMichael guy. I'm a DeAnthony Thomas guy. And I love me some Joey Harrington. Marcus Mariota, Bo Nix. I mean, there's a lot of guys. Justin Herbert. Pressure coming. Little screen pass. Boom! Nice hit. With the little check down there. Altmaier, 6 for 12 for 34 yards. No touchdowns and 1 pick. For a guy that's got 16 touchdowns and 1 pick going into this game, we are making him look like he looks like he's a player from a community college, not number 20th ranked Illinois fighting Illini. Holding. Defense. Uh-oh. Yeah, Allstott was a 1 of 1, bro. Especially being a Caucasian running back that played running back and fullback. I mean, if you go back and look at Mike Allstott highlights on YouTube, you will be amazed. I mean, there's not too many people that could run like that. And I think like the 2 best running back highlight packages on the internet are going to be Barry Sanders 1, Mike Allstott 2. Little play action fake for Altmaier, going long, going deep, 1-on-1, got a man. Caught, first down, Illinois. Little subtle push off there, but a great catch and a great throw by Luke Altmaier. Oh, yeah, that definitely was a push off. Big gain of 44 there. Come on, defense. Longest play of the day there for Altmaier. Play action fake. Trying to go to his tight end over the shoulder, Willie Mays style. That's going to be too difficult of a throw and a catch combo there. Incomplete. Yeah, Allstott was more power than Marshawn. Marshawn, even though he was known for power, he was smooth with it too. His agility as well, bouncing around. But you really can't go wrong with either one of those guys. Those guys are two of my favorites ever at running back. It's like, how did the Buffalo Bills let a guy like that go? Dumb. Marshawn Lynch. But it worked out for the Hawks, right? Got him a chip. And should have got another one. They should have handed the ball off to him instead of having Russell throw that ball against the Pats. Let's go, baby. 3rd and goal. Oh, yeah, Walter Payton was amazing. Earl Campbell. I mean, there's a lot of guys, if you want to go back into like the 70s and 80s, that were beast mode as well. Dickerson as well. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of running backs that had that kind of physical style. Double zeros on the board. What's going on here? Did they get a timeout in? 35-3 Oregon. Officials timeout. Go, baby. Got a wrap. Game used Natty gloves from the 2010 Natty against Cam Newton. Let's go. End around. Hit him. Yes. Nice play. Pat Bryant, their best wide receiver. They tried to hit us with a little trick play, and we sniffed it out. Good defense there by the Ducks. Good collapsing effort there by the Oregon Ducks. 4 Ducks right there in his grill. Good defensive stop on 4th down. Let's go. Pass incomplete. Oh, yeah. Every once in a while, I'll play with some of the old NCAA games on like PlayStation 2. Altmaier. Not today, baby. Not today, baby. Oregon takes over. Let's go. North Carolina's had some players in their time. Julius Peppers. They ended up playing, obviously, football and basketball. So every once in a while, you guys will end up having some players there. Obviously, recently with Drake May. Josh Downs. And then obviously if you go to the college football side, like Jerry Stackhouse and Rasheed Wallace, they've had Vince Carter, Jordan, Worthy. I can go on and on and on. Good defense there by the Ducks. 35-3. And obviously after that big, long gain, from Altmaier, 16 touchdowns, 1 pick going into this game, we thought, okay, this guy might be someone that we have to really take serious. But after getting that early interception on him, they're a little afraid. And, again, I think, if you have a top 3 defense in the country, with like a Georgia or a Texas and Oregon, it's hard to be able to manufacture points, especially when we're at home and we're wheeling and dealing. But we'll see what happens. It'd be great if we can hold Illinois to 10 or less for the game, but we got to be able to get out of our own end zone here. We're on our own 2, and hopefully we can get that done. Let's go, baby. The right coach changes everything for a program, and we got the coach of the year, Dan Lanning. Dylan Gabriel, Heisman favorite. Obviously, you're going to have Genty, but I don't think they're going to end up giving it to a running back, even though he's deserving of it. You have Genty from Boise State at running back, obviously the best running back representative. Cam Ward and Dylan Gabriel and a few quarterbacks will be definitely getting looks for the Heisman. And then Travis Hunter there at Colorado being a two-way player at wide receiver and corner. The college football game is in great hands right now in 2024. No, Army will not win the championship. mean, it's cool when Army and Navy, are like undefeated or they have good years, but there's no way in hell Army and Navy or any team in the military is going to keep up with the top dogs in college football. They don't have the same kind of coaching or recruiting to be able to get that done. But I am happy that they are having, good success for the military teams. Usually the Air Force is the team that's the best between Army, Navy, and Air Force, but Army and Navy are playing pretty good, obviously, this year until today when Notre Dame, wanted to be able to show out and throw up 51 points and to understand, like, how good their team is, that they deserve to be in the college football playoff this year. But when you win 51-14 against Navy, it's a big deal. All right, let's get out of the fucking end zone. Let's go, baby. No safeties, no picks, no fumbles. We just got to get out of our own end zone here. Gabriel. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. One-on-one. Stiff arm that fool. There we go. Jordan James. Let's go. Like a little Jonathan Stewart. Nice run, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 30 to 50 likes on the stream. And obviously, we shoot for 100 in the donos on every single stream. Go Ducks. Second down in a yard. 2nd and 1. There we go. First down, Oregon. We're not going to hit 70. We're not going to hit 35 in the second half, but there is a good opportunity to hit somewhere between 50 and 56 points, somewhere in there. I mean, 2 touchdowns will put us at 49, but I think we're better than that, even if we're trying to bleed the clock out. We should be able to hit 50 this game. Shotgun set, man in motion. Gabriel, blitz coming. Screen pass, go, go, go. Go, baby, go. Rumble, rumble. First down, Oregon. Patrick Herbert, Justin Herbert's brother. Move the chains. First down, Ducks. And we know he's not very fast, right? And obviously, T. Ferg, our number 1 tight end is injured and not able to play. So Sadiq and Herbert have to step up, and it looks like they're doing a pretty good job. Let's go. Hand off, right up the gut. Woo! Jordan James. I love Jordan James and Noah Whittington's effort with pumping their legs. They never go down with the first hit. They can have guys go at them like missiles, and they'll take the damage, but they won't go down. And they keep moving the legs. They keep pumping the legs, and you never know. Like, a gain of 5 could turn into a gain of 11 because they just don't fucking quit, and I love it. Great effort by Whittington as well as Jordan James. A great duo for the Ducks. It may not be LaMichael James and Kenyon Barner, but I like it. We've got a good duo going. I mean, it would be really nice to have Bucky Irving still available for the Ducks, but he's on Tampa. Oh, runs into 2 Fighting Illini. Great tackle there by the Fighting Illini with the stop. Yeah, I think that Genty, obviously he didn't have that monster game last night where he needed to get to probably 160 to 200 yards, but he's still on pace or pretty close to Barry Sanders' record. But I don't know. That record is pretty high, but if anyone could beat it, it is Genty. He's a guy that could end up scoring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns on the ground and getting 200 to 250 yards on the ground, and you wouldn't even blink an eye because he's that fucking good. Gabriel, play action, bootleg. Pass incomplete on the run. Justice Lowe, the intended receiver. But obviously, Genty, Gabriel, Cam Ward, and Travis Hunter. Those will probably be the main individuals getting looked. But there'll be others that will be coming up in the rankings as we get further into the season. But Gabriel and Cam Ward are fantastic, and there's other quarterbacks that are, pretty good this season as well. Genty's the best running back. Travis Hunter is the best two-way player. So I would assume that those 4 guys will get invited, and we'll see who ends up winning. Gabriel, pass incomplete in double coverage. Got to catch that, Justice Lowe. 4th down. Not the way that we wanted that drive to end there. That throw was just a little wide. Lowe had no chance on that throw. Throw was wide. The previous one looked like it might have been able to be catchable, but that one wasn't catchable. That was out of his frame and out of his range. 35-3 Oregon. I mean, there might be someone that takes a chance on Genty, and maybe he gets picked like Bijan Robinson, like a top 5 pick. You know, if they feel that that's the right, player for the team. I can think of one team that could really use Genty, the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are fucking terrible. They got a horrible owner in Jerry Jones. They got a horrible coach in McCarthy. Dak is overrated, right? They got CeeDee Lamb, who's great. And obviously the defense is nowhere near where it used to be, with DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons usually getting hurt. Offensive line isn't very good. But one thing that could help that team out, obviously since they care about putting butts in the seats and profiting instead of winning championships and Super Bowls, is getting a player like that. That would be almost like the second coming of like an Emmitt Smith. So obviously it would give more people a reason to watch the Cowboys if they were to go for a player like that. It would be a good fit. On that particular team, even though, I don't know how many people would enjoy that. If you're a Cowboy fan, you would love that. If you're not a Cowboy fan, probably not. But, if you're just looking as based on team fit, Genty on the Cowboys would be a perfect fit out of any team in the NFL. But again, they still got a long ways to go from being good. That's facts. I mean, Dallas will play good once in a while, but again, they have this thing where they continue to do the same thing year in and year out, and you get all of these people thinking that they're going to go to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. How about having like realistic expectations of like winning the NFC East first, and then maybe winning a playoff game instead of just jumping all of that and thinking that they're going to win the Super Bowl? Last time they won was 95, So it's been a long, long time. And again, as long as they have Jerry Jones there, they're never going to win anything. Sometimes the bad owner that cares about profiting and money, like the Seattle Mariners, it's bad. We got one of the worst owners in sports in baseball in Stanton for the Mariners, but just as bad as Jerry Jones. He wants to be the face of the Dallas Cowboys over Dak, over CD, over Micah, over the head coach, and that's a fucking problem. And that's why, unless Jerry Jones passes away, even though that'll get handed down to his sons, I don't really see the team getting really good anytime soon unless they sell the team, and that's never going to happen. So, but Genty on the Cowboys would be a good fit. You got to have a good owner, And Tepper is another shitty owner for your Panthers, and I think you know that. Anytime that guy gets frustrated, right, what does he do? He throws drinks on the fans and just gets drunk and just doesn't give a shit about anything. Like, they need to hold that guy accountable and make him sell, Ooh, a Haloti Ngata jersey in the front row by that girl. Oh, hello. I like that. That's like my favorite defensive player from Oregon ever. That's one jersey that I don't have in my collection that I would love to get, a Haloti Ngata. All right, 35-3 Oregon. I've been a fan of the Ducks since the 80s when we used to win like one game a year. So no bandwagon here. And it feels really good to see, what has transpired from Rich Brooks to obviously Mike Bellotti, Chip Kelly, now obviously here with Dan Lanning. Let's go defense. Get him! There we go. Now, well, with the Pats, it's more than just Brady. It's Brady, it's Gronk, obviously it's Belichick. And again, once you end up leaving that championship mentality of it's Super Bowl or bust, like the Dodgers and Yankees have as well, if you don't got that mentality, then you're going to have to start over. And again, the Pats had one of the biggest runs in football, 20 plus years, but you're never going to see them that successful ever again, more than likely. 2nd down and 9. And if they do get successful like that again, it's going to be probably 20, 30 years from now. Little screen, hit his ass. There we go. Gang tackle by the Ducks. Now, Chip Kelly is offensive coordinator for Ohio State. But I'm just saying, based on how good we were, going through our coaches, Rich Brooks in the 80s, Bellotti in the 90s, and then obviously going to Chip Kelly. And then we've had a couple shit ones after that, Taggart, right? Helfrich, those guys, Cristobal, obviously having success finally here at the U. And then now we got Dan Lanning. 3rd down and 10. Little draw. What do they expect to get out of that? Fucking nothing. Uh-oh. Harmon, what are you doing? Yeah, they had Marty Schottenheimer before that, though. And they've actually had, coaches that were pretty good. But, when you get Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce, all together, that makes the difference. Jacob in the building. What's good? Probably should have won by more than you did against Nebraska, but a win is a win. Seems like you guys haven't really recovered after the Oregon loss, but we'll see what happens. You guys got Penn State next week, and you guys are either going to be contenders or pretenders, and we'll find out what happens, obviously, as we go in to next week. But I still love watching Ohio State play. I mean, they got NFL players drift all up and down that roster. It's like Georgia's fun, Bama's fun, Ohio State's fun, Texas is fun. But I think the team I like watching the most in college football this year, besides Oregon, is clearly Miami. Cam Ward from Washington State and Damian Martinez, the running back from Oregon State. They plucked the 2 best players, from those 2 teams, and look what difference it's made for Mario Cristobal. It's saving his fucking ass, and it's saving his fucking job. And Miami is actually relevant again, so. Yeah, it's not about clicks, right? He's got the passion. And we, even with Sarkisian, Ryan Day, and Kirby Smart, the only other guy that's got Dan Lanning passion is Kirby. And it shows. Hand off, hit his ass. Bang! There we go. Sit down. Let's go. Go. Third down and 10. Blitz coming. Pump fake. And running for the first down. First down. Altmaier. Move the chains. Savage with the tackle. And hopefully Harmon can, have a little bit more discipline. Flag on the play. Again, we're up big, but again, we don't want to have those mental errors and be dumb and just give away free first downs and free points. Again, we fly around and we play with passion, and this is the best defense Oregon has ever had in their team history, and it shows. This might be the year that we actually win the Natty or get to the Natty and maybe lose to Georgia. I feel that, that might be the one team that might be a little bit too much for us. And not offensively. I think Carson Beck is average. I think Gabriel's better than him, but their defense is just as good as Oregon's, maybe slightly better, when they're on. They got NFL players on that D-line that can get 5 sacks in a game, and that might be too much for our offensive line at that point if we make the Natty against Georgia. But I would love to get revenge on them. If there's one team that I would love to win the Natty against, it would be Georgia, would be my number one. Yeah, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. And that's what I would want. Georgia and Oregon in the Natty. But, who knows if we even get there? We could lose to Miami in the college football playoff. A team like that is dangerous. Second down and 9. Come on, Oregon, settle down. Settle down, baby. Shotgun set, Altmaier, play action fake, going long, going deep, got a man, one-on-one, one-handed grab, incomplete. Good coverage there on Beatty. Good defense there by Oregon. I love that, baby. Let's go. Joe Dirt approved. It's not really too soon to talk about that. We're already, 3/4 of the way through the season. I mean, it is a legitimate conversation to be looking at the college football playoff and to look at the bracket and see how it might play out. So, I mean, really the only tough test for Oregon was going to be Ohio State. When we went into the year, we had every game scheduled, but one that was extra important was the Buckeyes. And if you could get past them, you could go undefeated. But again, going undefeated doesn't mean you're going to actually win it all. I mean, we know that. We've never even won a natty, so we understand. But again, we've never had a defense that's good either. And not only does defense win games, defense wins championships. First down and 10. McCray with a short game. There we go. Now, if this was like, 3 games into the season, then I would say, yes, I agree with you. This is a little early to be talking about natties or college football playoff. But this is, we're 7-0. We're obviously very deep into the season. It's not like we're in the NFL where we play, 16, 17, 18 games and you have to wait for a 10-7 record or, 15-2. Like normally you're only going to have about 10, 11 games in the regular season and then you go to the playoff. Altmaier going long, going deep, got a man. Good defense, incomplete. Let's go. And I'm never a type of guy to overhype a team that I like. Again, you got to understand, I'm a Ducks fan, but again, I had success with the Ducks, but being a Blazer fan, there's nothing to be excited about. Mariners fan, we usually get disappointed every year. Tampa, obviously with Godwin and Evans going down. So it's not like I really have a lot of teams. The Kraken, not really playing that well. So out of all of the teams that I, consider my team out of 5, usually I only have 1 or 2 that are good out of 5 at a time. Little pump fake, first down, Illinois, through the chains. I mean, if we're beating a team that's 20th in the nation by this much, right, 35-3, I mean, what do you think is going to happen after that? When we play Michigan, right, Maryland, Wisconsin, and Washington, I mean, those could end up being pretty big blowouts too. Now, there's always a chance that we play bad and a team upsets us. That's very true. Everyone's going to be, gunning for Oregon being number 1, or even if we were number 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But there definitely is a difference between the top teams in the nation and then other teams that are in the top 25 or not ranked. Flag on the play. Penalty is declined. Yeah, 4 games left. Not very many to go. It's different than the NFL. And Michigan isn't the same Michigan team that we're used to, with Harbaugh and all these NFL players. Same thing goes for Alabama. No Nick Saban, they're not the same. Shotgun set, Altmaier. Little play action. Into the flat, one-handed grab. Illinois gaining a little bit of momentum now. I mean, at any point you can play bad. You can get down 14-0 and just not be able to recover. Anything can happen. I mean, look at Ohio State on how good they looked, up to the Oregon game and since the Oregon game. It's like you could still be a top 5 team, but like barely win against Nebraska, which they probably should have won by 20 or 30, and they barely won. So a win is a win. But again, sometimes, you get your heart ripped out and it takes a few weeks to kind of recover. I mean, Ryan Day is still complaining to the committee that, his quarterback went down and that they had enough time to kick the field goal. Bro, it's been weeks. Like, get over it. You lost. But again, Ryan Day won't let it go. Handoff. Touchdown. Fighting Illini. There you go. Valentine with the tutty. Nice job. Catania in the building. What's good? I feel like I'm you. Back in the day when we would be watching games and Bama would be number one, and I remember being like, damn, it would be really cool for Oregon to be number one day. And then fast forward now, 5-6 years from that point where we used to watch games together at the house, and now Oregon is number one, and obviously Bama lost, Nick Saban, so it's obviously going to be a transitional period with DeBoer. But Milroe is still fun to watch, and it's like we almost, flipped. And now Oregon is one of the favorites to go all the way. 2-point conversion. And complete. I don't know what they're thinking there. Just take the one. Why go for two? Like, what are you doing? Chasing points? You're down 35-9. The game is not 15-9. Come on now. Come on, Brett Bielema. Yeah. How are you? How is the daughter? How are you overall? How's your mental health? How's football? How's the job? How is everything going? I haven't seen or talked to you in a minute. Hopefully everything is going well. I know Alabama isn't what you wanted this year, but obviously I think you knew, once Saban left, things were going to change, But also on the flip side, Georgia isn't really the same. Michigan isn't the same. So anytime you end up, losing a coach, things are going to be in a transitional period. But this is the first time where it kind of feels like the natty is up for grabs. Georgia isn't as good. Ohio State isn't as good. Michigan isn't as good. Bama's not as good. Like, the one team that got better is Oregon, but it kind of feels like anything could happen this year. And on top of that, we got the college football playoff. So who's to say a team like Miami could end up playing with Cam Ward, and that could be a team that could beat Oregon. Miami could possibly beat Bama or Georgia or Ohio State or Texas. So I feel it's very exciting, and I feel like moving forward with the NIL and no loyalty to coaches or players and people jumping ship from team to team, every year, like, I feel like college football is finally going to get to a point where we have like a kind of an even playing field. Like, there's going to be teams that spend more money. There's going to be teams that have elite coaches, that are going to be able to try to catch up. But if you don't have Ryan Day, Kirby Smart, Steve Sarkisian, or Dan Lanning, you're at a disadvantage. Texas and Oregon took, Bama and Michigan's spot, right? But that doesn't mean that those teams can't get good again if they get a better coach at one point, or if DeBoer succeeds at Bama, right? But it just kind of feels like, moving forward, it's going to be the first time where it's an even playing field for teams. And you might end up seeing a team like Miami, even though their defense isn't very good. Their offense is very, very good with Cam Ward, and that might be a team that upsets a team that, maybe you think that's going to go all the way. Can't wait to see what happens in the college football playoff. Yeah. But, I mean, Ryan Williams, he's 17 years old, ridiculous. Jalen Milroe, still fun to watch, 35-9, Ducks. Oregon State getting fucking obliterated. Oh my. 31-0. I better go check up on my boy Marcos. Make sure he's doing okay. Hopefully he's breathing still. My God. 31-0 to Cal? Let's go, baby. Yeah, no kids for me. Obviously, I got my Paisley pup, and that's the love of my life, being able to take care of her. But things are good, just grinding, full-time on this channel, and been doing it for 12 years of recording, 8 years on YouTube. I've been full-time for 3. So it feels good to be able to get the love and support for me to be able to continue doing this dream for the rest of my life. So. Where are you living at now? Are you still living in the South? You haven't moved back to Oregon, right? You're still in the South? First down and 10. Less than a minute to go in the third quarter. Oh, she's good. She, turned 3. And again, we walk about an hour and a half a day, 7 days a week. Me and her have lost a lot of weight. My mental health is great. I've cut back on drinking and fast food, and it's probably the best I think I've looked and felt in a long time. I dropped 90 pounds, from last year. So, yeah, I'm doing good. I ballooned up during COVID and past COVID to 270. Now I'm down to 185. So, and Paisley was probably about 15 pounds overweight, and Now she's around 55 pounds, exactly where she needs to be. So we're doing great. It definitely brings a smile to my face every day. If you ever have a connection with a cat or a dog, you will understand what I'm talking about. If you don't have a cat or a dog in that connection, then you'll never understand unless it happens to you. End of the third quarter, 35-9, Oregon. Let's go. Not exactly the third quarter that we wanted. We wanted to come out with that electricity. But again, hopefully we can at least get to 49 before the game is over to get to almost to 50. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And we're still waiting on the dono train. We had 200 2 days ago, 300 yesterday. We're at 0 right now, but I don't think that we'll finish at 0, and hopefully we'll have at least one person show some love on the channel. 2 more likes to get to 30. We're at 28. Let's get there, baby. But I had my doubts after we, Mario Cristobal went to the U and we got Dan, on how good he was going to be. But I think that, as the games have progressed, this is the best coach that we've had since Chip Kelly. And it feels like he can go farther than even Chip did. And Chip, it took us to a Rose Bowl, a Natty, a Rose Bowl, and a Fiesta Bowl. And it feels like Dan can actually get us a championship, even though we should have got one with Chip. We got the World Series on later tonight. More college football. It'll be exciting. I'll never forget this game. Let's go, baby. The good old days. Putting Oregon on the map. Nice. Congratulations. I mean, sometimes it's tough, to walk away from, drinking all the time or every day or eating fast food almost every day. But, to cut off, beer and liquor for the most part, no fast food, eating, healthy pretty much every single day, only eating 2 meals a day instead of 3, and then exercising for an hour and a half, 7 days a week with my pup. It really has made all the difference. So, it got to grind, someone's got to represent for the Pacific Northwest. I got the biggest sports channel in Oregon. So we're doing something. Obviously, the next step is to have the biggest sports channel in the Pacific Northwest in Oregon and Washington. Still got a ways to go to get to that number. There's a few Seahawks streamers that got more subs than me, obviously. But as far as the content is concerned, nobody in the Pacific Northwest does more types of events than me. I do basketball, baseball, football, hockey, NASCAR, wrestling, WWE. So as far as like variety, there's going to be people that do one thing, like just the Seahawks. But for me, I do like 10 different things. So if you're really looking for a one-stop shop, I'm your boy. Let's go. The shout is the best part, man. Like being there at the stadium, it's an aura, man. It is an aura. It's a vibe. And I haven't got a chance to go to a Duck game this year yet, but I hope to be able to go. Hell yeah, let's go. I mean, even the Max Kearney song with Oregon and, everything that goes on with the Ducks. I mean, it's a big part of our state. And, again, it's either you're a Duck or you're a Beaver. Some people are Blazer fans, but obviously with Dame leaving, it's not really the same anymore. But, again, we don't have an NFL team here. The only really thing we do have is Ducks and Beavers, and we represent very proudly here. I try to be, man. I try to be, I try to be uplifting and to be able to be a good influence, to be able to show you, that dreams can come true if you're willing to work hard. And again, it's been a long journey to get to this point, but I am definitely resilient. And again, if you don't quit, you can make your dreams happen. Going long, going deep, got a man, intercepted by the Fighting Illini. Dylan Gabriel into double coverage, and Illinois gaining some momentum in the second half. We're going to win this game, but not a good throw by Dylan Gabriel. Breaks away from his initial man to get that pick, cluing, using his eyes. Great job by the Fighting Illini. Xavier Scott with the interception. Dylan Gabriel shaking his head in disgust. Got to be better. Yeah, but Catania, everything else is pretty good. I cut my circle down. I don't really hang out with all the people that I hung out with when you lived in Oregon. I don't really associate with those people anymore. I don't really hang out with anybody. I got my best friend Justin that I hang out with maybe once a month, where we end up going downtown, play some video games, go get food, and then maybe go to an event, or like a Blazer game or something like that. But I pretty much just spend my time with the channel and Paisley, and that's it. That's pretty much trying to stay focused the best way that I can. So let's go, baby. 35-9, Oregon. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help your boy out. We've gained a couple subs as well, so that's a good sign. Appreciate the people that subbed to the channel. $87 subs to get to 20,700. Appreciate the new subs to the channel. Thank you so much. Got over 1,400 views on the stream. Let's keep it going, baby. Go Ducks. We're always going to be innovative, and I know a lot of fans of other schools want to hate, but I mean, if you were in the same boat as us and you had the Uncle Phil money and you ended up having the jerseys and the helmets and the cleats and the shoes, you would love it too. Again, having, different uniforms for haters, they hate it, because they only have 2 uniforms at home and away. But for Oregon, it's really cool to be able to have those different combinations every week. It's great for the players. And again, like Deion Sanders said, you look good, you feel good, you play good. Let's go, baby. First down and 10. Let's get an interception or a turnover. Altmaier, play action, bootleg. Oh, shit. Big hit, and that might be targeting, and yes, it is. Oh, my. Blasted the fuck out of him. Blasted him into fucking tomorrow. Oh, my. Pat Bryant, do you know where you're at right now? Hello? Hello? Man, he hit the fuck out of him. Hopefully he's okay. You don't want to have any injuries down there. And Pat Bryant is their best receiver, so prayers up to him. We're not a dirty team. And again, we're going to play physical. We're fast. We have one of the best defenses in the country, top 2. And we've never really been this good at defense before. We're going to fly around. But the intent for Oregon is never to injure anybody else or, to do something stupid like Trayshawn Holden and spit on an Ohio State player, even if they're talking shit back and forth and punches are thrown and, things are, not necessarily seen underneath the pile. There's a lot of shit that goes on a football field if you've ever played or been close, where there's all kinds of shit talking that goes on, in a football game, and usually the second guy always gets caught. There's a little helmet and a little bit of forearm. I mean, I've seen targeting calls that are worse. He definitely lowers the forearm in the boom. It's not a traditional targeting, but again, I do agree with the call. And I don't want to see anybody get hurt, especially Pat Bryant. No foul for targeting. Good. I mean, again, it's not like he launched himself and it was just helmet to helmet, arms down like a missile. He kind of came up, and obviously you could have thrown him out for that. And I wouldn't have been mad, But again, if you're actually looking at the replay here, it's more forearm instead of actual helmet. The bottom of the face mask kind of gets him, but it's really more forearm and maybe 10% of the helmet that hit. And it was a violent hit that doesn't deserve to be ejected for that. Good call by the refs. And normally we don't say that about the Big Ten. Yeah, more of a forearm shiver than anything. I mean, it definitely got more violent after the impact, and then you just see the arm go, afterwards. 2nd down and 10. Hopefully Pat Bryant is okay. He's their best receiver on the team. Altmaier, incomplete. I mean, it might be a little bit more difficult for them to get first downs now without Pat Bryant. And I'm always going to call it right down the middle, no matter if it's my favorite team or someone else's team. I'm always going to make sure that we're trying to call it right down the middle and get the play call correct, by the refs, regardless if it benefits Oregon or it goes against Oregon or any team. 3rd down and 10. Altmaier, floater, he's wide open. First down, Fighting Illini. Sorry. Okay, baby. 35-9. Less than 14 minutes to go. Shotgun set. Good tackle there by Oregon. Aiden with the short gain. Yeah, Pat Bryant's day is done. There's no way in hell he's coming back. 2nd down and 7 on the Oregon 29. $35-9 Ducks. Less than 13 minutes to go. 2nd down and 7. Altmaier, pressure on the edge. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Betcher, baby. Bet your bottom dollar. You better have a betcher on your team. Let's go. Betcher with the first sack lunch of the year. Nice job, baby. Ooh, I like that little beanie that guy had on the sideline. That's another new thing I need to be able to get. I need to get a new duck hat, new duck beanie. But I'm pretty selective on color scheme. 3rd down and 12. Altmaier. Incomplete. Good defense there by the secondary by the Ducks. 4th down and 12. 87 subs to get to 20,700. Let's go, baby. Got another sub. Thank you so much. 86 now. And if you go through my library, I do a little bit of everything. Basketball, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling. And I'm going to get back into some of the NFL reaction videos this weekend after having to, take care of someone that was a little sick for the last couple weeks. 4th and 12, Altmaier, play action, bootleg, rolling to his right, pointing to a man, throwing towards the sideline, about 8 yards short of the first down marker, and Oregon will take over. Nice job, Ducks. But we do full-time Seattle Mariners, full-time Oregon Ducks, obviously NFL, full-time. And then we do WWE PLEs once a month for the pay-per-views, which is always a fun stream to be able to watch WWE pay-per-views together. And then once it goes to Netflix on January, we'll probably do some Monday Night Raw streams as well. 35-9, Oregon. Over 1,500 views on this stream already. Let's go. Let's keep it going. We're almost at 1,600, 1,575. Let's go. And we needed some electricity like this fucking play right here. Again, not the greatest second half for us. Great first half where we had 35, but we haven't scored since then. We need to clean up some of these mistakes, and hopefully we can get at least into the 40s. I would love for us to, at this point, I don't even know if we're going to be able to get to 49, but if we can at least get to 45 and hold them to 9, if we can get a touchdown and a field goal or 2 touchdowns, I think I would be satisfied with that with 12 minutes to go. Yeah, I agree. Because if he tries to play like Superman, Matt, what's going to happen? He's going to throw a pick, right? Just like we already did. Don't throw into double, triple coverage. We're already up 35-9. We got to make sure we pound the rock and bleed the clock, but we just can't try to hang on to the win. We got to make sure we're still throwing the ball and running our Oregon offense that we ran in the first half. Otherwise, if we get too conservative, right, they're going to come back. They're not going to come back and beat us, but they might end up getting to 20. And it would be really good for our defense to hold them to 10 or under. And again, we'll see what we get here on this offensive drive. Let's see if Will Stein has the correct play calls to be able to get us in the end zone 2 more times before this game ends. 49-9 would be beautiful. Win by 40. Let's go. 49-9. That's what we want. 49-9. Let's go. I mean, we didn't fucking score any points in the third quarter. We haven't scored in the fourth. We need points. It's weird being able to see Big Ten games on CBS when normally that's the SEC, with Nessler. It's a little unusual for a Pac-12 guy to be able to be on a different network in a different conference now in the Big Ten. But I've always liked these guys calling games. They've always done a great job for the SEC. So, all right, Oregon, sun's out, guns out. Let's go. Handoff, Jordan James. There we go. 6-yard gain for Jordan James. 2nd down and 4 on the Oregon 40. Let's go. Let him know, Jenny. Shotgun set. Handoff. There we go. Bounce it to the outside, Jordan. Nice stiff arm. Very Jonathan Stewart-like. Very LeGarrette Blount-like. Let's go. And good for Bo Nix and Bo Nix's family to adopt Tez. You got to be able to have good, positive people around you to motivate you, to help you thrive. And what a great gesture by the Nix family of doing that. Tez has been fantastic for us, and you'll probably see Tez on Sundays. 1st down and 10. There we go. 1st down, Oregon. Move the chains. Speaking of Tez, there he is. 1st down, Ducks. Nice job, Dylan. Great job. And I agree with Matt. Run the ball to open up the passing game. I mean, we got Evan Stewart. We got Tez. We got Jordan James. We got Noah Whittington. Hell, even Dylan Gabriel can be a threat with his legs. Handoff. Jordan James running right up the gut. Looked like with a counter. 2-yard gain to the Illinois 30. Second down and 8 on the Illinois 30. Let's go Ducks. Love the uniforms. And obviously battling cancer. We always have like a theme with our uniforms too. All the little subtle details, to the jerseys, to the pants, to the helmet, to the cleats, to the socks, to the wristbands, to the armbands. I mean, everything is all, thought out. It's awesome to be able to see, the brilliant minds, come together with that. Beautiful details in those jerseys every single week. Beautiful. Third down and 4. Shotgun set. Gabriel. Run it, baby. Run. And he throws it wide. Should have tucked it and ran it. Come on, Dylan. Very sloppy second half for Dylan Gabriel here after an amazing first half. If we actually were playing a team that, was better than ranked 20th in Illinois, this would be a big comeback for whoever we were playing because we have not played good in the second half. First half, a 10 out of 10. Second half, we played a 5. So looks like they're going to go with Boyle instead of Atticus Sappington. Kick is up, and it's good. There we go, Andrew. If they trust Andrew more of Atticus Sappington, I believe in them. There we go. We get 3. Nice kick by Boyle. We'll take it. I mean, for a bad second half, we'll take anything that we can get. 38-9. I still want one more touchdown before the game ends. Let me get one more. Let's get to 45 before the game ends. Yeah. And again, we haven't been number 1 since 2012. And again, this is the best defense that we've ever had in our team history. And it feels good. I've always wanted a great defense. It's always been offense for Oregon. And every once in a while, we were blessed with a Haloti Ngata or an Eric Armstead, or a Kayvon Thibodeau or a DeForest Buckner or a Patrick Chung, or a TJ Ward. Or a Walter Thurman III. Every once in a while, we'll have some NFL talent. But again, it feels good to be able to finally have a defensive-minded coach and have that passion and that energy and that discipline, and to have one of the best defenses in the country. We're top 2 in defense. Obviously we know Ohio State can be good from time to time, but I would say that our defense is better than theirs. I would say the only defenses that are really in Oregon's caliber are Georgia and Texas. And I feel that we're better than Texas, but maybe Georgia's defense is the only one that's better than us, player for player. But that was a pretty good accomplishment if you ask me, for being a team that normally doesn't have a D to being a top 2 defense with Georgia in the country. It makes all the difference, as you can see with our record. Number 1, Oregon Ducks, 38. Number 20, Illinois Fighting Illini, 9. And if we actually played better in the second half, we would already be at 50 right now. But, it is what it is. And I think we're okay from where we're at. Take the field goal, take the points, get the reps, with the field goal kickers, because you never know when we're going to need that when we play Miami in the college football playoff, or Texas, or Ohio State again, or Georgia, or Bama, or any team that's willing to, knock our heads off, right? Gladiator 2, that's going to be a great fucking movie. Can't wait to see that. Denzel, baby. We got the World Series in about an hour and a half. Game number 2, Yankees and Dodgers. Must win for the Yankees. And congratulations to Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman for making the magic happen last night. All right, 9:04 left here in the fourth quarter. Go Ducks. Somebody's got to represent for the Ducks, and it's got to be me, baby. Just like the Seattle Mariners. People know me for being a Mariner streamer, and as well as the Ducks, baby. This could be our year. And that's one thing that I wanted before I die. I need to see a Mariners World Series pennant, and I need to see a Ducks natty before I die. Got to. Fighting Illini with a good return. Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, Indiana. Ohio State, Penn State next week at Penn State. Penn State might end up winning that game if Ohio State star players don't play 10 out of 10. I know, bottom of the ninth with 2 outs. If they hit a grand salami down by 1, I mean, Kirk Gibson made history when I was 6, right? And you remember that if you're over 40, right? But that home run, that's never been done before in World Series history. And good for Freddie. He had his child go to the hospital earlier in the year and a scary incident. And I couldn't think of a guy that's more deserving. He's probably the most patient in the box and has the best eyes in the MLB, and it finally paid off for him. First ballot Hall of Famer. Second down and 14. Altmaier going deep. Pick it off. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Go, baby. Go. Go. That's what a number 1 defense does, baby. Interception, Oregon. Hell yeah. Hey, you want to get a pick on us? Laolea. He said, let me get a pick back on you. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. And even though, in the past when we had Marcus Mariota or Joey Harrington or Justin Herbert, we ended up having guys that were the most exciting for me. I'm a LaMichael James guy. That's my favorite. DeAnthony Thomas, my favorite. Herbert, guys like that, right? And having that explosiveness. But watching a team that's got a top defense, it's amazing, man. And I've always been a defensive-minded fan. Ever since I was a little kid, most people buy jerseys of offensive players, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and I bought my share, but I always liked defense and defensive jerseys, linebackers, safeties, corners, D tackles, D ends, and it's just really cool to finally get my wish to come true when I was a little kid, that Oregon's actually got a good defense that can dictate an ending and dictate a game. Great job by Oregon. 38-9 Ducks. Yeah, Freddie's awesome, man. I mean, he's gone through a lot of trials and tribulations, and, to go from the Braves to the Dodgers, and, they got themselves a super team over there with Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, and guys that can come up big in the postseason like Kike Hernandez. But again, the Yankees are no slouch, and they're going to fight, but kind of feels like Dodgers in 6. Let's go. 8:18 left. Altmaier came into this game, 16 touchdowns, 1 pick. You know what his stats are for today against one of the number 1 defenses in the country? 14 for 29, 129 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. I would say that's a pretty good day for the Oregon Ducks defense. Love it. Yeah, I gotta get Paisley to eat, and I gotta go on another walk. Obviously after this game ends, and then I'll definitely be settling in and watching it on the big screen, obviously with the Yankees and the Dodgers. And then tomorrow's stream, we're gonna do the Niners and Cowboys for Sunday night. Try to pump out some reaction videos on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday for NFL highlights. Then we'll end up doing the Giants and the Steelers. Russell Wilson looks like he's reborn with Pittsburgh, so we'll see how that goes. And then, obviously, as we move forward into the week, I'll see what we have on tap on the schedule. Either Seattle Kraken, maybe some NBA. I don't really know yet, but we'll wait and see. First down and 10, 8:18 left, 38-9, Oregon. Dylan Gabriel's day is done. Right, exactly. Yeah, 4 games is dumb. Novosad is in there, our third string. Should be Dante Moore, but again, they want to redshirt him to have him stay. But the thing is, with college football and no loyalty, even if you have an NFL quarterback that goes and, comes to your team and then ends up going to the NFL or going and transfers, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to get another one. It seems like it's easier to get a top-tier quarterback than ever, because everyone just jumps ship from one team to the next. So it's not like you're going to be stuck with a quarterback from your hometown state, and that's it. You're always going to have an opportunity if you're a top-tier school to grab someone else's quarterback from Oklahoma, from Notre Dame, from wherever, or if you end up being a high recruit and they say, well, you're going to be on Alabama, but you're going to have to sit for 2 years. And then they might say, fuck that, I'm just going to go to Oregon and I'll play right away. So it kind of makes sense. Sometimes these high school kids or some of these quarterbacks, they don't want to wait 2 or 3 years. They want to fucking play right now. And if there's over 100 Division I schools, there's enough room for everyone to play. 4th down and 3, 38-9, Oregon. Got the backup in there, Austin Novosad, our third string quarterback, because they don't want to burn the red shirt for Dante Moore. Chip Kelly's UCLA Bruin quarterback from last year, who is actually very good. Short of the first down marker, but that's what happens when you end up having a third string quarterback out there. Yeah, he's garbage. I could have told you that. He's nowhere near Dante Moore's skill set. Like, Dante Moore could start for the Ducks, but Novosad, we couldn't start him. If you had Novosad at the beginning of the year, we probably would have like a 500 record. He's not good. First down and 10. Nice sidestep on that run. Well, looks like we're not going to get to, 50. And we might not even get to 40, based on the flow of this game here. But if we can hold Illinois to 9, it would be great. Play good defense, punch a football out, get an interception, get a fumble, get a sack lunch, make it difficult on Illinois. Don't get lazy here just because we're up 38-9. Play to the very fucking end. And that's kind of the difference with Dan Lanning, too, when past coaches, where they would just be like, whatever, the backups are in, if they score a touchdown, whatever. But with Lanning, it's like, we really want to hold the team wherever they're at. So if they're at 9, we want to hold them to 9. We don't want them to even get a fucking field goal. And that's the difference with that championship mentality. It's like we're trying to be like the Dodgers and the Yankees. If you're not winning at all, it's a failure. And we're starting to instill that into our program at Oregon. And I love it. Well, you're better than Novosad at quarterback, so we can put you there. Good hit there by Oregon. First down, Illinois. Dixon with the catch from Luke Altmaier. Get him! Get him! First down, Fighting Illini. Move the chains. Go Ducks. Come on, Oregon. Shotgun set. First down and 10. Don't let up. Hit him. Throws it into the dirt. Saw the pressure in his grill. Incomplete. But for a guy that had 16 touchdowns and 1 pick to go from that to 17 for 34, 161 yards, no touchdowns and 2 picks, Oregon defense is fucking the real deal. Go Ducks. Finish strong, Oregon. Shotgun set. Altmaier. Floater. Going deep. Got him in. Oh, what a tip at the very end. Incomplete. That would have been 6. 100%. Great defense by Oregon. And it's nice to be able to see that we actually have capable secondary members that can make plays. Great job. I mean, we've had guys in the past like Cliff Harris in the Chip Kelly era, and a few guys like Walter Thurman III, TJ Ward, Patrick Chung. You know, now we got Jabbar Muhammad and company. Lalea trying to get another pick. Great job with those hands, baby. Hands, team. Let's go. Third down and 10. Good protection up front. Altmaier. And he ain't going to get that first down. Gets about 5, though. Fourth down and 5. There we go, Oregon. Good stop. Passing complete. And we're going to hold them to 9. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Good shit. Holding teams to 10 or less shows how dominant we really are. Look at that. Tried to push him with the sack lunch. Not today. Nice job. Wish we would have played a little bit cleaner in the second half, but we can't complain. You know, 38-9 feels good, but maybe we can get one more field goal or touchdown to get us into the 40s. 45-9 sounds great to me. Hell, even 41-9 would be great. But you got Novosad at quarterback, our third stringer, and I don't know if he'll be able to move the football. You know, he's not Dante Moore, and he sure as hell ain't fucking Dylan Gabriel. But, you know, he's good enough to be able to get a few first downs. Let's see if he can do it here. Hand off. Right up the gut. Go, go, go. Nice. First down, Ducks. Who is that? LaMichael James? Nice job by Riggs with that run. Wearing the 21 of LaMichael James. That number should be retired, baby. Good blocking downfield here as well. Nice job by DeJuan Riggs. First down and 10. Novosad. Hands off to Riggs. Yeah, we got running backs on running backs on running backs, huh? Less than 3 minutes to go. 38-9 Oregon. We got World Series game number 2 coming up in about an hour. And again, if I would have tried to do both, I would have been way too tired. You know, and obviously I would have had to make a thumbnail for World Series game 2 yesterday, and I just didn't have the time. So, but I hope everyone that is a baseball fan tunes in and enjoys the Yankees and Dodgers at some point. Second down and 4. Now, obviously, we got Miami and Florida State. You're going to see Cam Ward obliterate Florida State here in about 10 minutes. Riggs runs into an Illinois Fighting Illini wall. Short game. He can't. Why do you think that they're not throwing the ball? They're trying to bleed the clock, but he can't throw. That's why. They want to bleed the clock, and he's not capable. Because if he throws the ball, we're probably going to get a pick. So it's not like, you know, Dante Moore where we have confidence in him to be able to run an offense and, you know, play like a Dylan Gabriel. Novosad is terrible. I mean, really, he can't throw the ball. And if he does, we'd probably turn it over. So I don't want to give Illinois a chance to get more than 9. Got another sub. Appreciate whoever that was. Thank you so much. 85 subs to go to 20,700. Let's go, baby. And it's still not late for anyone to show some love and support on the Dono train. We hit 300 yesterday, 200 the day before. We're at 0 right now, which is kind of mind-blowing to me. 1,700 people have tuned in, but we haven't even had one person to donate. But, you know, hopefully we get at least one person before this game ends. Let's go, baby. Go Ducks. Ready to bring that electricity today. No one on planet Earth thought Illinois was going to win. Even Illinois fans knew that they were going to get blown out. You haven't played anybody, you know. 6-1, 3-1 in the conference, but if you're playing like a bunch of fucking community colleges, like, you know, regardless if Oregon wasn't even number 1, you know, if we were ranked in the top 20 like Illinois, you know, you're not going to come to Autzen and win. It takes a special team with a special group of players and a special coach like the Huskies last year to beat Oregon with like Michael Penix Jr., where you got NFL players all up and down the roster. That's the kind of team that can beat Oregon, where it's going to be a very close game where it might be decided by a field goal. And that's exactly what happened with us, where we lost by 3 twice. But unless you got a team like that, not very many teams are going to be able to compete with Oregon at Autzen, or like a team like Ohio State this year, you know, a real deal team. But no one and their mama thought that Illinois was going to win this game. I mean, hell, Oregon's next loss might end up being in the college football playoff, but hopefully not. Less than 2 minutes to go. 3rd down and 4, shotgun set. Novosad, the third stringer. Oh, look at that. Novosad's like, I'm third string. I can complete a pass. First down, Oregon. Through the chains. Yeah, we're going to just take a knee and end the game? Might as well. I mean, we've got nothing else to prove. We don't really need to get to 40 plus. First down and 10. Riggs, go, baby, go! Don't go out of bounds. There you go. Stay in bounds, Riggs. Good run by Riggs. Anyone that wears that Oregon 21, you know, you got flashback to LaMichael James, baby. Altmaier's like, damn, Oregon's good. Might as well just hand it off to Riggs. 2nd down and 1. Hand off to Riggs. There we go. Nice. Hitting the hole. Good vision. First down, Oregon, and that is it. Hell yeah. Take the knee. Game of Thrones, bend the knee. We got a Fighting Illini player. Bana is down. Hopefully he's okay. Oh, baby, let's go. Indiana 8-0, Oregon 8-0, Penn State 6-0, Ohio State 6-1, Wisconsin 5-2, Illinois 6-2, Iowa 5-3, Michigan and Michigan State 4-3. Go Ducks. Feels good, baby. Feels good. But the mission isn't over. And that is it. Final score, Oregon Ducks 38, Illinois Fighting Illini 9. And Illinois does have a decent team, but it's just, sometimes when you end up playing a powerhouse, you do get humbled. Great win for Oregon, and hopefully Illinois will be able to bounce back and have a good rest of the season. Shout out to them. And again, holding a team to 9 points is fantastic, especially in college football. That's why we have one of the top 2 defenses in the country with Georgia. Let's go. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And again, remember, Dan Lanning is the reason why we're in the position that we are, as well as Dylan Gabriel and Tez Johnson. I love you guys. Enjoy the World Series game number 2, and I'll be live tomorrow for the Cowboys and Niners for Sunday Night Football. Shout out to all the people that subbed to the channel. I love you and appreciate you. And I got one question for you. Well, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Go Ducks.